Woo! We're live.
All right.
Yeah.
Hello. Welcome, everyone, to the HEX Happy Hour Show. We have our Steam panel, as usual, on with us, and a very special guest for the first time on the stream. CRYPTY Girl, how you doing?
Yeah.
Now
I'm happy. Yeah, I'm happy to be here with Happy Hour. This is going to be fun.
No pun intended.
See what you did there.
Yeah.
I'm a cheesy person, but I enjoy it.
That makes you perfect for this show.
Yes.
Believe it or not.
I was going to say this. The drinkers are usually at a minimum around here.
You know, I've never drunk before, but I imagine I'd be crazy if I were to get drunk because I'm already like pretty silly.
Like a goofy, happy drunk kind of thing.
Yeah.
Those are the best kind.
Maybe.
Or if she turns, it's like the nice, sweet girl we all know, and it's like,
wakes up behind bars. Like, what happened?
It's blackout CRYPTY.
Oh my god.
You got to watch Vince too over there. He goes hardcore sometimes too.
Get the Asian glow going.
Literally.
He drinks a couple too many Topo Chicos. He'll be watching. Better watch out.
Yeah. Well, I've never had CRYPTY on before. We actually hung out in the green room for the HEX conference, I think, just briefly, and then I think Maddie had to take off and do some more shows. So it'd be cool to actually have a more lengthy conversation rather than a few minutes in the green room before everybody goes on. But definitely we'll get into, I guess, some chat about community, and you had some nice videos tweeted out this past week, so get into those a little bit. I mean, there's tons to get into. Last week I was mentioning in the green room, we had DJ Cryptomatic on. I see you in chat, brother. So what's up? What is up, chat? Everybody, what is going on? What's up, Wales, Markable, everybody, Valiant Brand Hammer.
The brand hammer.
The brand hammer.
It was funny. He got like that. Who gave him that nickname on our show the other day? I know he's had it before then, but then Wasabi was showing us his charts. Someone's like, "Oh, chart guy!" Like Brand gets brand hammer, and then Wasabi gets chart guy.
Chart guy.
Chart guy.
Chart champion.
Yeah,
there you go. I like that better.
So I was saying we had some events last week, and we try to recap as much current events as possible, but we didn't get to them. But just a real quick around the room, because this should be fun, and I know we all have some friends who partake in the Doge. Yep. So Doge was on quite a run. I'm personally not a fan, don't own any, never owned any. However, congrats to those who do. I see Hexkins all the time on Twitter. Annette is the first one that comes to mind, welcoming any Doge holders over with those gains that they're sitting on to hopefully something that's more long-term oriented. But take on Doge, Mr. Try Not. Kurkowski.
Well, try not to suck.
Okay.
So it's one of my theories on life. It's what I'm working towards. Yeah. Just trying not to suck. If you do that, it's all it's all gravy. Anyways, Doge, man, Doge. Well, if you look at the chart and like you can see that Doge is. Here's why you can't really hate Doge. It's because it is the quintessential crypto, and it has done the pump and dump thing so many times that when you look at the chart, it's like clockwork, man. And so if you are willing to wait it out, it always has its day. It's not the first time now because the rest
not
of the
like
market,
this though. This is new territory. This
that's true. That is true. That is true. It's a bigger pump, but so is the rest of the market. The whole market is up, and because Bitcoin is so much higher, it's if you look at it, the Doge against the Bit, because that's Bitcoin. What everyone really cares about.
Oh, that's a great chart. It's just straight up.
but it's had over the years. If you go back 6 years, 7 years, Doge has had about 4 other pumps almost like not as high, but almost as high. I mean, it has its moment. But the thing that you have to note about Doge is that, like, sure, it's a great way to make your come up if you're willing to wait it out. But just like it's been every previous time, it lasts very quickly. It's only here for a second and then gone for a second. And the reason for that is there's several reasons, but like from my mining perspective, you know what I have some of extra of, you know, just because Doge, you know why? Just because anytime you mine Litecoin, you get Dogecoin. If you don't have your like the only reason Doge exists is because somebody came along and decided to merge mine it with Litecoin. So when you mine Doge or Litecoin, you have the ability to also be mining Dogecoin if you just put in a wallet address and add an extra command line add-on to your script. So like if you awesome. Want to be, yeah, exactly. So like what does that mean is that any Litecoin miner out there that's worth their weight or worth their salt it should have a huge pile of Dogecoin. Did
that cut into your hash power when you were doing that?
No, absolutely not.
Not at all. Wow. No, yeah. So you'd be stupid not to.
It would be stupid not to. Now there's other coins where it would either cut into your hash power when you did like merge mining with Ethereum on graphics cards, because there are some other things that you can do that. But no, the Dogecoin, the only reason it exists is because they're using the same script or script or whatever, however you want to say it, technology, the same algorithm for both to lock both of them, or to secure both chains. So because they're doing that, they are literally accepting the same work. If you look for the same primes on one, you can submit that for the other. So that's I mean, everybody that had if you look, the biggest holders have giant piles of Doge. So like it's just a matter of them waiting till they believe that the pump has maxed itself out before finding themselves fantastically in profit. I mean, this is by the game. It's
giant Doge piles. I like it.
Giant piles. And like I said, I mean, like if you didn't, when I first started mining Litecoin, I didn't realize it until a little bit went on. So like, I mean, I'm sure there's some people that have missed out, but yeah, you should if you're mining Litecoin, enjoy that Doge. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But Vince, sell quickly, please. And you get into
oh, I missed the top already.
Yeah.
Know any Doge holders, Vince?
Fortunately, I don't know any personally. It's funny. I actually bought a couple $100 of Doge back in 2018 when everything crashed. I just kind of held it all the way till the middle of HEX launch phase, and then I just kind of capitulated and bought HEX with it. So yeah, not much there, but it's funny, some prominent Doge accounts actually follow me on Twitter, and during launch phase we kind of got into a little back and forth. So I thought that was kind of interesting, but yeah, nothing really came of that. And like, yeah, I never really successfully converted them to HEX, but yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Vince is that quiet savage, like you don't realize, like he's super nice, but secretly just he's just waiting for you to slip up so he can go for the kill.
Oh man.
How about you, Crypty? Have you ever owned Doge, or I'm sure you know someone who has it, and any fun stories about holders that you know?
So I didn't know that about Doge being merge mined with Litecoin, Big Kurkowski. So thanks for sharing that. I was just checking some Doge stats right now. I don't hold any Doge, and I probably will never hold any Doge, just because there's not really a purpose to it other than being a meme coin, and it's highly volatile, and it was created as a joke. And I think it was funny that one guy from TikTok investors, he just as a joke made something called Scam Coin, literally called Scam Coin. And it had a $7 million market cap within the first hour of its creation. Cool. So I'm like, that just blows me away that money can get poured into these kinds of things. But lots of people I know that know I'm into crypto, they reach out to me for Doge more than anything else, more than Bitcoin. Which is crazy. I think Doge is probably more well-known now than Bitcoin for new people. Maybe not, but it's crazy. So I think Doge is actually highly centralized. And can I share my screen with you guys really quick?
Yeah, throw it up there and I'll grab it.
Okay, cool. just grabbing my Brave tab. Yeah, I was checking. So Yahoo Finance says around 100 people control Doge's entire $46 billion market cap. So
yeah, there's like a single wallet that has like $17 billion worth of Doge right now. A lot of people think it might be the Robinhood wallet. But yeah.
So 65% of Doge coins are distributed in just 98 wallets across the world.
Yep.
And
yeah, that's the kicker right there. 65%, 98 wallets.
Five
really
wallets.
Not much.
Five wallets control
that's
40% of the supply.
That's actually how it goes with most cryptocurrencies. People just don't realize it.
Yeah.
That's why they all can have their day, man. That's why that like when the time is right for them to pump, it's very possible because their liquidity is like as a whole for the market total supply of most of these coins, tiny fraction. Like the amount that actually can be bought and sold in any given day, like most of the time, well under 10% of any of these coins. So like it doesn't really take that much of a crazy run, especially when they're super illiquid like Doge. And like what'll happen is the market's super illiquid and for Doge right now because everybody that wanted it, all these quick time investors bought it up. And once they bought it up and jacked up the price to the moon, well then everybody who's sitting with piles of it in these wallets can just dump it like wild and freely on the open market, and just there's all that to absorb. I mean, and we'll go back down pretty quick. You know?
Unless Robinhood wants to start removing like buy and sell buttons again, like they did with Wall Street Bets. That's always a possibility.
They could. I mean, that depends. It would be a really good way to see if they are actually holding the coins and the money that they say they are.
Right.
You know.
Yep. Very, very, very true. I like what was it? Long Live Hex's statement earlier. He's like, I feel bad for the owner of Doge who like sold all his Doge back in the day for like a Honda Civic or something.
I mean, dude, that has better resale value in the long run. That's for sure. I mean, unless you're
Oh my goodness.
Can't regret that one now, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
yeah,
sure.
I was saying in the green room earlier, I had a friend of a friend who is a gambler, go figure, owns Doge. And it was around, I guess, like, what was it, 40 cents earlier this week? And
at the high.
I told him about HEX, explained about HEX. And I was like, yeah, this is probably too complicated. He actually put him on the phone with me. And I was like, it's probably too complicated. A lot of people, get lost when it comes to T-shares. My buddy jumps on. He's like, dude, he's like a gambler, professional gambler who calculates spreads and all this stuff. He's like, he loves this stuff. It's really interesting. I'm like, okay. And I just went on and on. He's like, I'm buying like, 5,000 a night or something, 5,000 USD. So hopefully that story ended well. I haven't checked back on it. But any other HEX stories, Motley? And also, I do want to say we do have some breaking HEX news, which is it's like evolving as we speak. Motley and I were just talking about it earlier. So hang around, tell everybody to get in here because it's really cool. It involves, HEX supply.
Yep.
And how would you tease it else, Motley? Because it's awesome. The Gunther and HEX, one of the HEX Telegram groups, has put in massive work, and we have permission to share some of it with you. So it's going to be awesome.
100%. I guess my last story on Doge is my girl's mom. We had a cookout this last weekend, and she's got into cryptocurrencies except on Robinhood, so paper crypto essentially. And she's put a decent amount of money in, and she was so excited to show me Doge. And she's like, look how much she made like 2.5 to 3x her money on Doge. So she put in like 12 grand in Doge, and she was up like $30,000+. And I was like, please sell. I was like, please. I was like, sell. I was like, or for me, just like take your profit out, take what you put in. I was like, for the love of God, like just get at least your money back out so you don't lose it. And I'm gonna go hang out with her this weekend, so I really, really hope that she took profits at the highs and not right now after that big dip that we all took.
Yeah,
but that's the story of Doge. It pumps hard, but it also dumps hard, and it's usually very short lived, even during the bull markets.
What you're talking about right there in the easy onboard through something like a Robinhood, can you imagine? Once the onboarding is that easy for HEX and without all the crazy fees and stuff. I mean, it's
PulseChain, Staker app,
game over at that point.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Crypto has the best app that we've ever seen before. Once that takes place.
Yeah. And before we get, I know you wanted to speak, Kirk. Shout out to our
I always
own,
want to speak.
I know. Shout out to our own Joker. Our Joker has been going through, I guess, some complications with the vid. I'm hearing he's getting over it, but man, he's been toughing it out lately. So shout out to you, brother. We all here hope you get back well soon. So
get out of safe moon, damn it.
That's right.
Get out of that shit.
All right,
Please.
Kirk, what's up?
Oh man.
Oh, nothing. I can't even remember. I had a few things for this, that, the other thing, but I'm ready for our next topic. Bring it up.
All right. Well, next topic is from last week because we're just rounding up everything. Coinbase. So what's your take on this IPO? Like, a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, it's the top of the market. Yeah. And I'm just like, it's just a listing. It's not even, I know it's crypto related, but it's on a stock exchange. A lot of people try to equate it to CME futures years ago with, around the Bitcoin top. I think it's just overall a net positive. It just gives crypto, a bigger footprint, especially in the United States. Onboarding, USDC gets people talking, and it's more, it's that second gateway drug. So you have like cryptos, like everybody already knows Bitcoin and Ethereum. Well, now, it's more familiar because of something like Coinbase. I have people asking me, hey, should I buy Coinbase stock? And I'm like, oh man, well, crypto's where it's at. But, what you got on Coinbase there, Kirk?
I don't know. It's a tough question. I mean, if you want to buy, let's say, for instance, you're one of these entities that can't get your hands on crypto for whatever reason, but you can get your hands on the stock, it might be a good play for you. I mean, possibly. Do I think that like buying the first week anything comes out is like the best idea ever? I mean, I may have once before.
Rarely on an IPO day. Yeah.
But I've learned my lesson now. So like I would see what the market really feels about things. Can Coinbase, because the real question here is you have to ask yourself, is Coinbase $1 trillion company? Period. Because like if they're gonna release at $100 billion valuation, some crazy valuation, like are they going to 10x for you? Because that's all. The only reason to buy this stuff is for it to go up in price and for you to make money on it, especially stocks. That's even more so than cryptos. At least cryptos we can front like there's some utility here, but like with stocks, there's not. There's just the stock. The company does good, and then maybe it's really not even the company does good. GameStop has proved that. They're like company does terrible, is useless, awful product market fit, goes to the moon because everybody buys it. So like. That happens with a lot of stuff like that in the stock game. It's a lot of speculation. And so especially in that, is there enough room in the tank for your Coinbase buy to 10x? And then now you're talking about not only Coinbase has the 10x, but like, well, why are they 10xing? Because everybody else is putting in tons of money into crypto and they're constantly making tons of money off of the fees and transactions of people. So like you're hoping that Bitcoin pumps through the roof and Coinbase, like, I mean, you have to have, they kind of correlate, like if crypto goes down a whole lot, I imagine that holding on to Coinbase long-term might not be the best, like, so I'm not saying that it's not a good call, but like you've kind of got like two leverage points of like crypto and the company doing well, and like you're speculating on kind of both of them at the same time with that, Which I'm not saying it can be a good play. Maybe it is $1 trillion company. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think Dollar Cost, one of his calls was, we're not topping until Coinbase is $1 trillion company.
I heard that. I like that.
That's it for this cycle. I mean, it sounds cool, but
that's some memeable shit right there, man. Send it.
It's some memeable shit. Send it, he says. So yeah.
Oh man. Evidently, poor Oaktree will never financially recover from his advice he got from the Knights of the Crypto Table. Evidently, he bought HEX, and now it's just plummeted in his opinion.
Plummeted?
Bro, you might be down like 1/10 or 2 of a cent. Like I think you'll be all right. If you staked it, your 40% APY will be fine.
Yep. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, like you were saying, HEX is bear market resistant. Because you're still earning interest.
We hope it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. I always enjoy when people accuse other people for essentially doing they almost put the responsibility in someone else's court when it comes to their financial investments. Like at the end of the day, it's on you for your own research, how much you want to invest into something. And if you can't take that responsibility in the first place, you probably shouldn't be investing, because you're just going to get wrecked. Because if it goes down 0.1 cent, 0.2 cent, and you're already freaking out, or you overinvested more than you were willing to lose, then you were screwed up from the start.
Yeah.
Sorry, Oak Tree. Stake it. You'll be okay.
We have been around for a long time in HEX world, and you will be. I have confidence that you will be fine. High confidence.
He said it was going to the moon very soon. Okay.
Who did?
He said Coffee said it was going to the moon very soon.
Okay, gotcha.
He bought it at 2 cents. He's wrecked. You'll be. Okay.
I mean, it was a little frothy, not just HEX, but like the whole market last week. I think was ETH was at like 2,500, and but actually, if you look at alts,
ETH is bouncing back already.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you look at alts, they are holding up nice. So I think if Bitcoin ranges here from maybe like 45 to 55. That is perfect alt season weather. So you can see, a lot of these names. Chainlink is one that's really good. I own it. I'm not, trying to shill or anything, but the chart.
Well, that's it. I'm gonna buy 50,000 off your advice. It's all on you, bro. I swear to God, if it goes down 0.2 cents, I'm coming for you.
I'm coming on your show, and I'm gonna yell at chat.
I'm gonna virtually start throwing shit at you. Yeah. Watch out.
But speaking of other coins, I actually didn't mean that for it to be a segue, but it actually ends up being a great segue for our guest, CRYPTY Girl, and she put out a great video. I think it was like a 2-minute long piece on Twitter. I just watched it again today, but you're involved in different communities, and I'm not gonna outright name names or anything like that, because I think like I own different coins, and I think that is okay. And
totally,
yeah, and I don't understand the tribalism that's out there, especially. I think the one we're most familiar with is just Bitcoin maxis. But how's it been, just in your experience of putting yourself out there on multiple fronts with some prominent coin names? What's the reaction been like? And obviously, there's been, I guess, some drama between communities, but it seems like you're navigating it really well.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Sure.
Overall, I've had a positive experience in general in crypto, so I'm very grateful for that. But sometimes there's just passive aggressiveness from each community, which just a lot of it can tend to bog one down, especially if you hear more negative than you hear positive. And I'm a very positive person, so the negative sometimes just like makes me sad. But it's really good being in multiple communities. And like I was saying, I love each community and all the people. They're all intelligent and respectful, and just awesome people that genuinely love helping each other in the community. So it's really cool to see people helping each other. It's just sometimes that, like when I've been accepted as family into all my communities, which I absolutely love. But sometimes when I start talking about other cryptocurrencies or other communities, my family feels betrayed, or
that particular crypto family,
like the black sheep of the family. So it's just like, hey, it's okay to like multiple cryptocurrencies, because each of them have a different purpose and they're not in competition with each other. And it's okay if you disagree with what I like. That's completely fine. So
yeah, and it's
not
like
be respectful, be positive, and because what I was saying was that I'm sincerely trying to do my best with the crypto content I make, and my best is going to be different than your best, and so just
pretty much better than all of us
combined.
At the time I was just
CRYPTY
feeling
Girl,
like
us.
I needed to say something. So I just felt like I needed to say something and just remind myself, like, why am I here, and that my intentions are good. So
something I want to say about that video that you made, because what it harkens back to, and like what reminds me of, is that like the evolution of the crypto thing, in the sense that we used to laugh. I mean, people still do laugh about how, like, if you go on crypto Twitter, or if you're even we're on in different chat forums for crypto, it's like there's so many pseudo anonymous people that, like, we always be like, yeah, there's actually like 10 of us. We're all just like, it's the same 10 of us all talking with like 50 different screen names and shit. It's, but like, that's how it was, it's like, if you were in a crypto community, you would have a crypto name, or you would be pseudonymous into that category. And if you had another one for another coin, you'd be in somebody would have a different username for that one entirely. And like, there's really no way to know when everyone's pseudonymous. You don't know that. You don't have any way of knowing that. And it like you lend yourself a lot more credibility when you come out publicly and you say, hey, listen, I'm willing to attach my name onto these things, or this thing, or whatever it is, in some level, or and that I mean, it gives the words you say strength, for sure. And then it also provides you with a level of like checking yourself, like, you're not going to say dumb shit when this is my face I have to put out here, and like, I got to live with that if I say stupid silly things on here, so, or I'm wrong, I hate that. Ooh, that's do not like that. so I try my very best to be right, and accountable, and that's big difference. So like, it's tough, but it's better, I think, that you take the stance that you have of like, no, I'm not going to make several different usernames. I am me, and that should be enough,
Yeah, it seems to be, I guess, I learn more as my following grows, and I have more to deal with by default. But it's all a good learning experience, I'd say.
Yeah, and it's not like you're talking trash about other coins either. Like, I could understand maybe some apprehension or something like that if you're talking smack about another community in another one, but it's just you like something else, so you're the one that has to face the brunt or bear the brunt after you say something about something else that's not even about that community that gives you that backlash or whatever you want to call it. So good on you. And I think to Kurkowski's point, talking, creating separate accounts, I think you're doing totally the right thing, keeping one, because I think that sets an even greater example to be like, you know what, I'm not going to cave to this temptation to separate this and make this easier. This can work. I'm going to make it work, and we're all going to be fine. So I think it's a great example, and I really like what you're doing, and the communication of it's great too.
Oh, thank you, Cabana.
Oh, you're welcome. You deserve it. So
I really thought about that for a long time too. So I've also just realized that each of us all have our own preferences, and we all like different things, and no person's going to be the exact same as anyone else, unless they're a maxi, of course. But so we all just have to make our own journey. It's an individual journey. So that's why I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, persevere on. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, I just think that the maxi thing in general, I mean, I know that there's better investments and worse investments in out there, but like, I mean, it's unique to cryptocurrency that if you're a stock investor, no one ever like laughed at you for buying. You're like, we're like, oh, you have all these other stocks. Like nobody was like a stock maxi, like that never was not a thing. And if you were like a gold investor or a precious metals investor, like no one was like, oh, gold only, silver and platinum is totally garbage. I mean, those are all reasonable bets to, it's so strange that, I mean, but it is, I always say that like cryptocurrency is these people are uniquely charged up about monetary policy and money in ways that like you never see people like fist pumping, fiat currency, the dollar, it's just not a thing, so
silver coins.
Sold a lot of my precious metals for HEX.
Hey, I did too.
Yep.
Me too. But I mean, no one's getting on you because you didn't sell all of it or any of that shit. Like, I mean, it's whatever. I agree that there should be everyone should be able to exist in multiple realms, and I think it gives everybody more like intuition. Like, if all I ever knew of investing was HEX, you probably I wouldn't have that much to like talk about it on here. It would be a much slimmer pickings. So. Yeah.
It does give you a broader perspective of everything, for sure. Gives you more to think about. You learn more. Each community teaches you something else. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but thanks guys for having me on here. This is great.
Oh, absolutely. I got puppy dog going crazy. Hold on. Okay.
Is it yours or somebody else's?
That's my boy.
Okay.
But yeah, Crypty, back to you. I wanted to ask you because, maybe put it out there, but we haven't had the chance to chat. So how, quickly or maybe not so quickly, how did you get into HEX, or how'd you hear about it? And, could you give us your quick HEX story?
Yeah. I was given some HEX early on when HEX was founded, and that's how I first heard about it, a small amount. And I had a lot of interest in it, but there was so much FUD in the market, and I didn't really believe in the FUD. However, I was fearful of connecting my MetaMask to Uniswap and go.hex.com and that kind of thing for like my cryptocurrency being stolen. So like that was the FUD that affected me. So for a long time, I didn't buy HEX personally because I was afraid of the vulnerability. But then after a while, I was looking into it again. I was like, oh, wait a minute. This is going to be, in this specific case, a safe thing. And then I started learning more about HEX and watching Discourse Syndicate. And I was friends with Dollar Cost Crypto. And then he invited me on Discourse Syndicate. While I was watching, I was like, I don't really know that much about HEX, but could I ask questions about it? And then he's like, sure. So that's when I came on Discourse Syndicate and I was asking questions. And then SkiCat, the benevolent giver, gifted me 3 million HEX, 2.5 million on the show live, which was incredible, mind blowing. And then an additional amount of HEX when you sent it to me, which I staked 2 million of it for 5 days. And then the other 1 million, I laddered it for the next 15 years. So awesome. SkiCat was incredible and has like set me up for life. Like I feel so nice about that. And if SkiCat is watching right now, I'll send you any merchandise from my store for free, for sure. Like if you have a PO box or a mail forwarding address, I'll totally send you merchandise from my store. Anything you want.
SkiCat all swagged out.
I'll make him custom merch too with like
SkiCat
on it if you want.
Awesome. That'd be dope. That'd be cool.
Yes.
The community accepted me, and I absolutely love Hexicans. You guys are so passionate and intelligent and genuinely want to help people earn money. So it's really cool seeing you guys streaming all the time and promoting HEX, even people buying HEX ads. I think that's really cool. And the founder, I get to know Richard Hart more as I'm watching him, because I haven't watched him as much as I've been learning about HEX, but I genuinely see that Richard Hart is a good person. And like from a first glance on the outside, you could easily judge him to be kind of rude. But then when you're watching him more, you get to know but his actions, like he cares about his community and Hexicans. Like one time I made a video on Twitter and I was like, HEX was up 17,000% in 2020. And then after my video, I was like, oh wait, HEX was up 35,000%. But Richard Hart never bothered to correct me on that. And he still shared the video. And I just thought that was interesting. I was like, I wonder why he didn't correct me. I thought it was just like kind of humble. And like, I think he just really cares about people. And then he wrote Sci-Vive and he wants everyone to succeed. So, and that he talks to his community. He takes Telegram calls when he goes live.
That was cool.
I've never seen a founder do that. And I absolutely love that he's talking to his community. That's so cool.
Yeah. Talking to a billionaire. Pretty crazy.
Yeah. And he's going on with the HEX ladies. That's on their next stream.
Yeah, I believe so. Discourse Syndicate, HEX ladies, and Richard. Yeah, probably next week.
Yeah, we'll actually probably pregame that. Yeah. So that's awesome.
I think that might be where he releases the PulseChain news, possibly. So everyone should definitely tune in. Yeah,
that'd be cool.
It's gonna be exciting.
Yeah.
rumors swirling. And as a tease, chat, we have some really cool stuff to talk about. We're going to do that after Easy Trivia here in a little bit. But second half of the show is going to be awesome for HEX content supply talk. Motley's got some cool stuff to talk about. I can't wait to talk about it. So there's your tease.
Yeah, I like it because it involves me being right. That's my favorite part.
Cabana, man, I'm so proud of you. You're growing as a YouTuber. Like, let me string everyone along with a little tantalizing piece of information. It's like, guys, you won't believe what we got for you.
To dangle the carrot.
Stay tuned until the end. Smash the likes.
I'm on Twitter. Yeah, I'm bad at that. I'm terrible at that part. But yeah, I'm on Twitter. Like, we got some really cool stuff to talk about. Come in. So we'll get you in here and yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit. I am like truly excited because it's something I've been waiting for a long time.
I was too. I was late getting to the green room just because of it, because it's so exciting.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I don't. You won't be disappointed if I know a lot of people hype some stuff up, but this is so awesome to talk about. I can't wait to talk about it. So. Anyway,
wow, I'm excited too.
One more item to talk about, and then we'll get to some a round of easy trivia, and perhaps Motley can get out of the first round along with Vince this week. But we'll see.
Give us music, yes.
That's a tall task.
Yes.
CRYPTY will take you down the first round. That would be awesome. But anyway,
wait, what?
I'm sure she will.
Yeah, we're gonna have a trivia contest if you weren't aware. It's fun.
Yeah, it's all
Get
good.
ready.
Okay.
It's easy trivia.
Easy trivia.
Cabana calls it easy.
For some people.
They are easy. But anyway, all right. So
Cabana values pop culture for some reason. I don't know. I consider it useless knowledge.
We had a DJ and a rapper on last week.
That is fine. I was willing to bow out on that one for sure.
What is Kim Kardashian's favorite song? No, I'm just joking. I have no idea.
I was gonna say I'll defer to Motley. Yeah, you got that one, Motley?
Nope.
Right, yeah.
I didn't grab my white towel to throw in. But
all right. So last item here for easy trivia. So this whole dumperoo that happened yesterday was pretty much, I guess, the results of tax legislation being floated. There's a lot of crazy numbers. There's ridiculous numbers actually that. In reality, the way Washington works is it's not happening anytime soon, and I would surely doubt that it's going to happen to the magnitude as the numbers are, the high numbers that are out there. Typically, you'll float something high. It's like the Donald Trump kind of thing. Start here and work your way down to here.
Compromise, but then that's how we continue to just have higher and higher taxes eventually.
Yep. Exactly. I mean, I think they will eventually get raised. It's stupid to do that. And you've already seen it in gas prices and whatnot. But anyway, not to get off on that tangent, but just in terms of crypto taxes, Kirk, I know you're on top of that situation. You've been on it.
I've seen the legislation, and it just I mean, my biggest point about it is that it disincentivizes long-term holding of things more. So And I mean, if they're going to raise the long-term capital gains cost to the same as the short-term capital gains, 39.6, are they going to raise? They're not going to raise. They don't have any plans to raise the short-term. So that sucks. That really sucks for anybody who it just disincentivizes anybody that's considered slow-yielding assets over the long term.
That's the old capital gains high now too, because it was lowered to 37% for short-term capital gains.
So short-term,
and then there's a 4% added on top of that.
Short-term capital gains would go back to the 39 and then 39.6, and then long-term would go to that too, which is just so then it would just be the same across.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, it's silly. I mean, I do if you're going to have a capital gains tax, then you should have a short and a long term. I mean, I do agree with that. And I mean, if you're going to have it. I mean, I'm not a giant fan. I mean, but I mean, but if it is going to be a thing, and you based on you can walk down that logic, then yeah, that would make sense. I mean,
I love the fact that they can print as much money as they want, but then raise our taxes. It's pretty awesome.
Ridiculous.
So wild.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah,
that's the big like thing. I mean, it's just all the way down to everything else. It's like, I mean, it's just whitewashing people's beliefs on things. They want to make you feel like we can, if we just contribute a little bit more in taxes, then we'll get ourselves out of this financial situation that we've put you in, and we're going to continue to put you in, and like, it's
But they don't plan on getting us out of debt, because the official U.S. budget is for more than the official U.S. GDP.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if you go to the U.S. debt clock, they budget for more than our country makes.
Well,
so they obviously
it's
don't
like
plan on getting us out of debt.
No, it's a psychological thing by blaming it. They do this all over the place. They blame it on like it's your battle to win, not our problem to solve. Like they do that with like green stuff, green energy stuff. Like they want to make it like if the world would be a much better place if you just recycled more. You're like, what? That's not how it works at all. And that's what's going on here. I feel like with taxes, we're getting the pressure for like their bad decisions, and it's and like they have the out, and yet we get the squeeze.
Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna be ugly. That Puerto Rico is looking more and more appealing by the day. But I mean, can you imagine on top of that, you live somewhere where you have high state taxes as well. You're looking over potentially over 50% taxes, where all the work, all the blood, sweat, and tears you put in, and then you get less than half your paycheck. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, it's painful.
It'd be brutal. Like how are you ever supposed to get out of the rat race at that point? You can't. It's almost impossible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is disheartening too, and especially to crypto, because I mean, some of the numbers out there are kind of ridiculously high, and I don't think that it's going to happen. I think some of them were just made up, but at the same time,
it's a double tax too, right? Like you're getting taxed on money that you've already been taxed that you earned. So you've earned this through your own personal income. So then you're reinvesting it, trying to better your life, better your family's life. And then the government's going to tax you again, and now they're going to raise the percentage that they tax you on that. So they're double taxing you. They're raising it even higher. Like it just there's a certain point where it just gets so disgusting. It's just like you get fed up of it.
There is a level of I have to play both sides to some degree, that like this is mostly affecting those already with money being made. Like if you make money on short-term capital gains or long-term capital gains and you broke, then like you're paying 15%.
It could go as low as people that make 200,000 or 250,000 as a family unit, though. So like that's not even that crazy of money these days.
And that really is something that depending on where you live, it's a very huge difference. I mean, like people that I know that are living in Jacksonville, Florida, making a salary, that are like getting moved to another job, are like requiring more than double what they need to go to California. Like this. What I mean? Like that's the same job, you just can't. So it really depends dramatically on where you're existing, So like, and if you don't take that into account, I mean, even government stipends take that into account, So like I feel like they should matter, like localities should matter too.
Yeah. So Simon, is this a politics show or a HEX show? Well, bro,
a little bit of everything. It affects you, bro.
If the politics affect HEX indirectly or directly, we're going to talk about it. And we also, if you're unfamiliar, we talk about a lot of stuff here. We're going to talk some UFC at the very end, because Motley, there's like 3 awesome fights. We'd love to hang out. We love to chat. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. But anyway, sorry, Crypty, I stepped on you there. Go ahead.
Oh, you're fine. So Biden planning to raise the asset tax from 20% to 39.6% is only for those with over $1 million, right, in assets?
No, so they came out not too long ago. They were speaking on it. It could affect people that make 400,000, and then they were even talking about family units between 250,000, where it could still affect as well. So that's not necessarily true.
I have read the 1 million. I didn't read the 250 number, but I read the 400 and the 1.
Yeah, they went over it on the press release earlier. But yeah,
I don't like any of it, but yeah.
Politics are gross. Pretty much what it comes out to.
Do you guys think it's
the interesting thing about HEX for people that are interested in moving to new localities or worrying about their tax situation is that when you do stake HEX, majority of your profit of your interest that you make is actually paid out at the very, very end of your stake. So, it's if you're going to be going to somewhere else, the sooner you go, the better, but you have some time to move to another place. Plus, you also have, features like good accounting built into the system so that if you don't want to actually take a tax liability right now, you can good account your coins. I mean, I know of some people that put a lot of their stakes like 15 days, 14 days away from the end of the year. And so that they wanted to good account and take it on the next tax season they can, that's something that mattered to them. So that's just another, I think, cool thing that HEX has. If we're going back to HEX chat, as far as features and cool abilities, I mean, especially for those with big payday stakes, they don't you better serve your whole term up to the very last day, So
yeah, and Wales, always has some good points in the chat. Making money isn't just press and buy and sell. There's a lot more to it than that. I mean, fortunately with HEX, you don't have to keep trading, but there's a lot of factors that go into it, and the more you understand all those factors, or at least aware of them, hopefully it makes the process easier, and perhaps it enhances your investing performance. So CRYPTY getting the compliments in the chat.
Thanks.
She's got that cool hat, man.
But, yeah. Oh, heck yeah. CryptyShop.com. Brand new.
CryptyShop.com. And we'll even let you shill it at the end of the show. Yeah.
Gotta shill my shop. But it's all to promote HEX. You gotta remember, it helps the HEX ecosystem because more people see your HEX merch and they ask you, what is that? And then you can tell them.
So does anybody remember a total aside that reminds me of is there's some video early on in HEX, I'm talking, but when within the first couple weeks, when the first there was some protests going on in the UK, and some dude that was caught up in the midst of the protests, the clashes of mobs.
Oh yeah, he
was
ran
running by his screen, with a HEX T-shirt on. You remember that? I was like, no way.
Someone posted that not too long ago.
Yeah, they did. I remember that. I was stoked when I saw that at the time because we were so new. It was
it was so early into the launch phase.
At that point in time, I didn't even know people had that was what's I was like, maybe I should make a T-shirt. Maybe I should. This guy's got a T-shirt and he's running through mobs and stuff. Man, I need one of these things. So that was pretty cool.
Well, with HEX is all over. He's all over the hat, and he's all over the video. I remember that too. That's a pull, man. I have not thought about. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Just flashed it not too long ago.
I gotta see that. That's cool.
Find it.
So I wanted to ask you guys: do you think it's a good idea to have any HEX liquid, or do you just have everything staked?
Depends on you. Personal choice and what fits you best.
Depends on, I think at this point in time, I think it also depends on your investment amount and how much you have sitting there, and your time period. So if you're going to stake, 20,000 HEX for a year, I'd be like, I don't know if that's
No, don't do it.
That might not be worth it.
PulseChain should probably fix that, but
don't take a chance. That might not be worth it, necessarily, but or less than that in time, but if you're going to go longer than that and you've got a long time horizon, I still think it's good to do most of it out. I mean, but again, it's all personal. If you need to live and this is something that you exist off of or something, then maybe keep some liquid, but if you're, you have other sources of income and you're, and this is just a side piece, then I think most should be staked, and but that's me. I mean, everybody's different. Everybody's different.
Yeah, and the whole gas fee thing has brought in just a whole new dynamic too. So it's not like you can get in and get out.
Well, that's the thing that really is making it sting a lot.
Yeah.
So
But it could also be to the benefit of HEX stakers because there's less getting in and out, so maybe people stake it further out. I did see anybody see the guy with 15 million hex today? He had it staked for 60 days. He restaked it for like 390 or something. So perhaps that's a product of the gas fees, and it's pushing even the big stakes out.
Gas fees.
I know it is
T-shares
because I know
costing more hex.
I know some people that I got in early that like have a decent stack of hex, and I'm not here to name whales out there, but like but they have the ones that were short thinkers and kept more liquid than I was like, why were you doing that? Even if you did, it's like some would keep like a bunch liquid that 50% of their stack are so liquid and wouldn't even, and I'd be like, dude, you could even be short staking this and making like, why are you doing this? And they were fine with that. And now they're reconsidering their moves. They're like, oh wow, like not only the share rate moving, but the fact that they can't like just jump in and out whenever they wanted with their shorter stakes that they were doing, makes them really consider like what they can do going forward. So a lot of them have like sat there and started to calculate T-share rates and shit out based on their stakes, that like ways that like think about math in ways that I never thought these couple dudes would do. Like they didn't care at all before, and now they're like, oh wow, how many of this is for how long? Okay,
yeah, lights out. You're not the only one, man. I know a few out there in the Hex family that have some short stakes. So yeah, and I think we all know a few actually. Fortunately, I'm not in that boat, but man, but PulseChain's coming, man. Don't know how soon, but I did see some cool tweets from Richard. We can pull those up here after Easy Trivia.
I saw him chatting in the chat and talking about how they're already blocking blocks on a test
man.
net.
Yeah, that was
block.
That is not the breaking news.
That's not even the breaking news.
That's not even the breaking news.
Even the breaking news, but they are blocking blocks on a test net, man. That's not a technical term, by the way, for everybody's.
But as far as staking liquid hex goes, the name of the game is just getting more T-shares, right? So like everyone has their own strategies of how they do that, and I know a lot of people that are making liquid plays, but just realize that you're taking a risk if you could get left behind very quickly. So make sure you do it. If you are going to play those games, do it with a bag that you're comfortable on losing out on. But it's a risky maneuver. But essentially, end of the day, however you try to do it, the whole game is to accumulate more T-shares. So,
I mean, so I had to unstake a pretty long stake the other day, and I mean, it was decent gas fees, and it was still
how much?
How much coins or how many?
How much did it cost you in gas fee? Gas.
It was an early, like a day within the first 20 days stake, and it was almost $500. It was like $495.
Oh
wow!
Did you wait till the cheaper days as well?
I did my best. It was like right under 100
weekend ish.
Oh my god! Really? Yeah, because I got like essentially a day one stake coming out, and tomorrow actually. So
it was a real pisser. I was like, but I mean, it is what it is, like I said, that's why I think longer stakes are much, much better for now. I think, because I mean, I do believe that if Ethereum is going to eventually have like that part of it, so we'll have.
And we don't have to wait on that. We got PulseChain coming in the meantime. We don't have to wait for Ethereum to get their shit together.
Exactly. You don't have to, but think about it. Like you got to think that if you do have a bleeding stake that you stake short for this, for whatever reason, I mean, it's not going to bleed out. Like, who was doing the math on? I think it was Johnny Chaos that was doing the math earlier.
You got a 2 week grace period. You got 2 week grace period, 1% per week, and then on top of that, if Hex does any sort of price appreciation, if let's say we just do an easy 2x from here, then you didn't lose anything.
Yeah, then you'd have to wait 50 weeks
at the beginning of this entire
lose,
year.
Yeah,
pretty much.
To lose it, to be like back.
And then by that point, maybe we have PulseChain, and at that point, who knows what the heck the price is going to be at. So everyone will be okay. Unfortunately, this is just going to be a temporary thing we have to deal with for now.
Yep.
Yeah, and it really does.
I'm more interested in all the game theory of what can happen with that tweet. I don't know if you all read the tweet with Richard that about what can possibly be in Pulse and how that could affect things.
I think we're going to talk about it here in a bit.
We have a thought experiment we will talk about.
Yeah.
And that is not the breaking news.
Nope.
Just saying.
Keep stringing them along. Keep stringing them along.
It is really cool, guys. I can't wait. I'm
Compounding the
pumped.
FOMO, huh?
This is what I have been waiting on and what Motley's been waiting on. And it's still, I haven't.
I've had faith the whole time. I haven't.
Yeah, I mean, it was confirmation. It was confirmation for me too, but like I never ran the numbers, right? Like mine was just an estimate, and unlike some of the other individuals that we're going to show today that have actually gone and done the work that takes hours and hours and hours. Yeah, you wouldn't know otherwise without it.
So
right,
with
trivia
that being
time.
said, we're going to do some easy trivia, and on the other side, we will get into this awesome news. So if I can put my hodl dog pants on and say, smash the like button and get
Was
us.
he Jamaican? Smash the like button.
Sorry, welcome to day 438 of my HEX journey. Smash the like. Welcome to the hood, CRYPTY Girl.
Oh man,
Is that better?
Awful
It's a
accent.
nice hodl dog.
Sorry, hodl dog, man. You're the man. I have to get you back on here to do that. But yeah, let's get up to 100 viewers. We're almost there, and then we'll break the news. We'll be like RG3 when he was trying to
Silver the Ando face show. It's just like at 100 viewers, guys. We'll tell you.
yeah, I think his was 200 that day. It was like a Saturday afternoon or something. But
The face reveal. Yeah.
The face reveal.
It's 200 viewers. Yeah.
All right. So yes, there's your tease. Smasha de like man. And we will get into a little easy trivia, and then we'll take you to the other side. And of course, the dog's going to go crazy as soon as I start this. But
Sweet.
anyway,
Telling you to buy Doge.
so Kirk leaves when it's his question. So perhaps I'll give him the harder
convenient. Yeah, give him the harder one for
He's
that.
trying to sabotage me. Giving you the first question.
Yeah, because I think he won like a couple weeks ago. But yeah, for anybody who doesn't know, we do a couple fun activities, fun segments. At least we think they're fun. Easy trivia is one of them. My goal as a host is try to
It's
get
for
our
CRYPTY to win. Yes,
is
we
to
know.
try to get our guests out of the first round. Out of the
Sorry
first
about
round.
that.
Oh,
This is the part of the show. Simon, don't spoil it. But even I don't think that's the breaking news. But perhaps it has to deal with the OA. I don't know.
Nah, Simon got it right. You're right, Simon.
Yeah, all right.
You're right.
Show's over. We'll see you
The
later.
end.
But yeah, we'll go around the room. And yes, Finn Bear, excellent question. That's actually brings up a good point. So for everyone on the show, please go to private chat so you don't see the chat, because
Don't cheat.
we encourage chat to participate and see if they can get these answers sometimes, like last week, before everyone. So anyway,
Coffee.
coffee.
or you could just be like Wasabi and
And he still got it wrong, even when he's cheating.
Is it the swordfish?
That's great.
And coffee was flat out reading them too. I think. And then I think he just pulled himself.
He's like, yo, dog, this guy gave me the answer. Can I just
No, that. All right. Kirk, are you ready?
I am ready.
All right. At Motley's request, we're doing some nature.
Hell yeah, animal plant stuff. Let's
One
go.
round.
One round. Lame.
Of
Should be
nature-ish.
themed. Yeah.
All right. Kirk, a common ladybug has spots of which color?
Black.
Very good. Easy trivia.
Wow. I didn't think it'd be that easy. Oh my goodness.
She's already talking smack to
Famous
you.
last words.
I was like expecting how many spots does a ladybug have, or like something
Famous.
about anatomy. And then it was like, what color? I'm like, oh wow.
All right. Well, let me just.
I feel like
ratchet
I've
up
seen
your
some with white spots, but I could be wrong.
Albino lady.
Maybe I'll Google that way.
common ladybug was the key phrase.
Oh, common.
yes.
That's what I'll say.
All right, Vince.
Yes.
What bird is the universal symbol for peace?
That would be a dove.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah, there's definitely ladybugs with all kinds of different colored spots, actually.
But
Sorry.
are they the common ladybug, Motley?
There is no actual definition of the common.
Okay,
ladybug.
well, you got it right. You should be
All right,
happy.
keep going.
Semantics.
All right. I'm ratcheting up CRYPTY Girl's difficulty level since she's talking smack.
Hey, I don't need to do
Good
that.
Okay. Let's see. CRYPTY, what is the fastest animal on Earth?
Cheetah.
Oh, that's easy.
Very good. Famous
No,
last words, Motley, right?
It's actually not, by the way. It's a peregrine falcon, and its dive reaches up to 200 miles an hour.
Damn.
So it's actually not.
Oh, wow.
You
Is
came
it on
prepared.
Earth?
Dive.
It's not on Earth when it does
it's
that.
it's in the atmosphere.
It's not on Earth when it
It's
does
not.
that.
Oh, okay. Landlocked. Okay. Sure.
You're missing all the key phrases. On Earth, common. You know.
I didn't know falcons were in space, but okay. Got it. Maybe the Falcon 9 on Elon's rockets.
Yes. All right, Motley. What is
All
the
right.
slowest animal in the world?
What the fuck? I mean, that could be all relative to its size, too.
Oh man,
yeah,
you're
that's-
making it harder than
Like
what is commonly thought of as the slowest
a
animal.
snail. A snail.
Animal. I'm gonna help you
Huh?
with the
Good
animal.
try though.
Oh,
Oh, so like a mammal?
Like a mammal?
Like
Like-
what do you talk about animal?
You wanted zoo stuff, man.
You know, a snail is still considered an animal.
All right, Chad's getting it. I mean, so, you know.
A sloth.
Did you cheat?
No.
Okay, correct.
But you should have said mammal, by the way, not
All right.
animal.
Well, I'm just reading the questions, by the way.
God, this animal trivia is garbage. Need me to structure this for you next time. I got you on the animal stuff.
All right. Well, chat did very well. Sloth. Good job. All right. Back to Kirk. Everybody made it out of the first round. Cool deal. Hey, Kirk.
Hey,
What does the E in email stand for?
I'm gonna guess
I think-
electronic.
Yeah, that's what I would guess.
His
Probably
guess
wrong.
is electronic. Ding ding. You are correct.
Yes.
Hey, Vince.
Hey, Cabana.
Practicing for
Not
the end
that
of the
time
show.
yet.
Chat is all over that one. Yeah, you should see it after the questions. It's like, all right, Vince. What is the square root of 49?
Oh, that would be.
You're Asian, Vince.
What does that mean, Motley?
You know what it means, Cabana. You know what I'm implying.
Wow.
The square root of 49.
Letting down Asians everywhere.
He is
At least-
going to be
at least-
banned from Hex Asians.
At least you're
Oh
good
my
at
God.
classical music, so that that's something.
Full stage fright. 7.
There we go.
Yeah.
Correct
Oh
answer.
God.
Took
So
a
low.
while.
Man, I was waiting for
Well-
like a 9 or something.
We
But
could just like go edit
I
that,
almost
edit that
said nine,
timeout. You know.
I was hoping he was gonna guess
Oh,
6
God.
instead
Oh,
of 7. Switch around the football points.
Chat's having a good time with that one.
Yeah.
All right, round 2, CRYPTY Girl.
Damn, 102 comments already. Jesus.
All right.
What ocean do Californians swim in?
Pacific.
Very good. I purposely did not give that to Vince. It would have been too easy. But, Motley.
Capital gains tax is also an acceptable answer.
Well done. Well done. Motley, what star is closest to the Earth?
The sun.
Very good, Motley.
For a second,
would you like
for-
to complain about that?
No, like for a second,
Wow.
like I thought, I was like, well, the only real star I know besides the sun is the North Star. So I was like, I hope it has to deal with that. Then you're like closest to Earth. I was like, wait a minute.
Good job, Motley.
Thank you.
That one, I was like, wait.
I would have been very upset if I got that one wrong.
Slightly
I
tricky.
thought the sun
He
was.
says easy, but they
Well, I
get
guess the
tricky.
gas ball is a star. So.
Well, they do get a little harder as you go on.
Yeah, square root of 49 was pretty tough.
Cabana,
Yo,
what is the most powerful force on Earth?
I like this.
Oh.
The Hex
Richard
Force.
Hart and PulseChain.
Technically correct.
I would say like gravity, but I have no idea.
Technically, it's water, but I like to think love is the most powerful force on Earth.
Ah, we're going to do some riddle trivia next.
Oh, see, the chat gets it. Love.
Yay!
Love. Doll.
Effortless has my belt.
Gravity. Compound interest.
Oh, compound interest.
I like it,
That's a good
Joe.
one.
That goes with my hex force.
Oh man, it's so good. All right, it gets stepped up here a little bit. Kurk, you fan of old, well, not old, but television when we were kids, I guess.
Yeah, you got
All right. What is the last name of the leading family characters in The Cosby Show?
The Huxtables. Dr. Huxtable.
Very good. Very good.
I would have probably like knee jerk Cosby at first.
Cosby. It's
Yeah.
The Cosby Show. That was one of the strangest things about it. It was called The Cosby Show, but it was the Huxtables. You're like, there's nobody named Cosby around here. I don't understand.
Yeah. All right. Vince, what show involved Cylons as evil robots?
Crap.
What was
I
it?
don't
Involves
actually
what?
know this one.
Cylons were evil
Cylons.
robots in this show.
Silence?
What are Cylons?
I don't know. I think that's
Why?
part of the question.
Can't really tell you.
I'm right there with you, though, CRYPTY Girl. I have no idea.
Are you sure it's not Decepticons? No.
Chat's doing well. Go chat.
I
Such
don't know
useless
this one. Wow.
trivia.
I'm drawing a- I don't really-
1, 2,
that's all.
3, 4, 5, 6. You guys are awesome. Chat. Good job. 5 seconds.
You know, there's only one show. I didn't even get into this show, but I can.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
I'll just
That
nuke
sounds-
myself and say Transformers, even though I don't suck.
5 minutes.
The
Wow.
answer is
Galactica.
That's the one. That's the only.
Battlestar
That's.
Galactica.
I didn't get into that show, but a lot of my friends did.
Out.
They're
I
all
watched it
about-
as a
Yeah,
kid.
yeah, you get kicked out when you get it wrong.
But the
He's at it.
All right, chat,
The-
don't let me down.
the remake.
Don't
Wait,
look at
what?
chat?
No.
Cheer?
You're not allowed to see chat.
All right, chat. Supply me with the answer. Let's go.
Well, the only old show I watched was like I Dream a Genie.
Oh, you guys hear that? Old show, Cabana. Way to go.
I mean, that was out before I was born, technically, but it was still reruns after that.
Wait, I Dream a Genie that started in black and white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
did Bewitched, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This is out long before.
All right, Crypty. Little TV cartoon trivia. In The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Familiar with The Simpsons?
I'm screwed.
Oh, no. Well, perhaps you know it because it's a famous place. In The Simpsons, where did the Simpson family live?
A house.
What's the name of the town or city that they live in? I see you looking down there. What are you doing?
I was in the private chat actually. So.
Vince is putting answers in.
Springfield.
What? You're kidding. I
You
think
didn't
somebody
cheat.
cheated.
You didn't cheat, did you? You're not in the comments, are you?
She's so
CRYPTY?
cheated. Can you be honest with us? Did you
Okay,
cheat?
I cheated.
Yeah, bye. I was like, she went from like not knowing at all to just like Springfield. Like, come on. Wow. We thought you had integrity. Ugh.
Oh,
God.
You guys are great.
Damn.
All right. Well, I mean, I guess it comes down here for the win. So,
Should be an easy one for you.
Break up the hard
BK.
ones.
It's not my strength.
Are we on the TV stuff still? Is that what we're on?
Yeah, unfortunately.
we're on the
Love
TV
it.
stuff.
Love it. Serial, TV. Bring
Give me
them
some.
all.
Give
This
me
is
some
how my wins
cartoon.
are.
Give me some cartoon
that's-
shit, maybe.
Cartoon shit.
Yeah, cartoon shit if you got it.
You know, the thing is about Simpsons is the Simpsons was like I used to be able to make a Simpsons reference in a social setting, and like everybody would get it. Everyone would be like, oh yeah, totally.
It's
Of course.
definitely died out.
Now I have to do South Park. South Park, and that's starting to wane.
Even
now.
South Park is kind of fading away.
It's starting to wane now. But like for a while, but pre-pandemic, I could mostly drop South Park references and get. Oh yeah, okay.
I like South Park more than Simpsons by far.
I don't know. It's like Simpsons are so like the early is so formative to my life and youth and who
Well, that's because no, I'm just kidding.
All right. Are you ready, Motley?
Sure.
All right.
Useless trivia. That's what I'm going to rename this. Don't give me a hard one. I'm just kidding.
Skeletor is the villain in what cartoon?
He-Man.
Very good.
All right. All right. Let's go back to a topic that's, better.
All right. Big Kurk. You're a plant-friendly person.
I do enjoy my fair share of horticulture.
Botany is the scientific study of what?
I want to say plants or flowers.
Flowers. You got them both, actually.
Okay, I want 2 answers next time. Plants or flowers?
All right, Motley.
I think it's both. They both are included in it, though, right?
Yeah. Hola is hello in what language?
Spanish.
Very good.
Thank you.
All right. Big Kurk. What is the capital of Greece?
I mean, I want to say Athens.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Athens.
You're going to go with Athens.
I think, right?
You are going to be correct.
Yeah. Nice.
Molly.
Mm-hmm.
What is the capital of Italy?
Okay. God. I'm just going to say Rome because I don't know anything else.
Rome it is.
Sweet. I was like, can I think of anything else? I was like, no, I've just got to go with Rome.
This is the longest, easiest trivia round I think we've had.
In a while.
Big Kurk, what type of headgear is a Stetson?
Stetson. Oh, I know this word. Kind of headgear. Headgear. Are they sunglasses?
No, that would be a cowboy hat.
Stetson cowboy hat.
I didn't know that one.
Well, we got at least I still got a chance.
Johnny and Piston on it. Nice.
Hey,
I knew that, man. I knew
I didn't know that one. I've heard the term before. I just didn't.
Yeah, I bet DJ Cryptomatic does have one of those suckers somewhere out there.
He
was wearing it yesterday.
Yeah,
I saw it.
Doing a Western.
I saw the Western.
That was a great set, by the way, DJ Cryptomatic. That was awesome. I was jamming out to it.
All right, Motley, for the win.
Good. I need a win. It's been a while.
Here we go. What geometric shape is used for a stop sign?
Good thing Crypto King's not on. Octagon, let's go. It ties in nicely with UFC.
Yeah.
I feel kind of ashamed to win on that question, but I'm gonna take it. So thanks for everyone else failing on the harder questions. I appreciate you. And I think this is like my 3rd or 4th belt. So I'll be the Quattro champ.
Wow,
Nice.
chat like flies by and I can't even get all the correct answers. Good job. All right. Yeah.
Well, that was a pretty easy one.
I don't know. I mean, some people said like hexagon.
Man, there's hexagons everywhere. Post picture of
polygon.
an octagon.
I've heard worse answers.
Dodecahedron.
Yeah. Anything else you'd like to say to your fans before we bring the esteemed panel back?
No, I think I'm just pretty excited to get into. Well, actually, I'm very ashamed of CRYPTY Girl. I wouldn't have thought she would have cheated like that. I'm very disappointed. Yeah, I'll leave it on that.
She has left in shame.
Yeah, she's left in pure shame. Oh man.
All right. Well, we're not going to break the cool news and cool stuff without her, so we'll wait till she gets back. But
Sounds
Yeah.
good. Did you want to talk about the PulseChain and the message that Richard's got pinned to the Telegram?
Yeah, let's pin it. Let's talk about the pin, man.
Is that which one is it?
If you go to pulsechain.com if you just go to PulseChain
Is
Telegram
it just the little thing, or is it the thought experiment?
It's the thought experiment.
Oh, okay, yeah, I got that.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Think about it. Oh, I can go back to comments now. Man, yeah, comments were freaking flying. Looks like 120 plus comments.
Yeah, welcome back.
Everyone's saying, hey, cheater, what's up?
I was just off on my walk of shame.
Springfield, huh? Interested.
I mean, it's tough. It's like you either just go out because you don't know it, or you try and slip it by.
Yeah. All right. This is not the breaking news either. And for those, I know a lot of people don't watch the stream, so I'll just read it real quick. This is Richard's thought experiment that I think you said was posted in the PulseChain Telegram group. So I'll read it real quick. Thought experiment. Instead of Pulse launching empty and forks of successful ETH projects, launching on it and getting rich, Pulse goes live with the entire Ethereum system state, freeing all Ethereans from the high gas costs on ETH, reducing ETH's fees by reducing the load on it, and rewarding the original developers, for instance, Uniswap. To save all the Ethereans, the supply of Pulse is 10,000 X'd and airdrop to only holders of X. Don't worry about X for now, even though we will talk about it, I'm sure. Yes. All the wrapped ETH/ERC20 pairs are now Pulse ERC20 pairs. This makes it likely that everyone that had any ETH will be able to transact with the free Pulse that they get. What do all the ERC20 holders and Pulse holders do? How many dApps have on-ramped and have working front ends? Do Pulse holders start accumulating all the ERC20s with their newfound wealth? Do ERC20 holders start dumping for Pulse? ERC20 pairs should be fun to watch. What other exciting things happen? ? By the way, the code for the fork is already being written.
Bum, bum, bum.
Dun, 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 dun.
So much to digest there.
So yeah, Motley, you wanted it. Let's go. What should we
talk about first?
Yes.
So biggest thing is it looks like we're definitely copying. I mean, this is if this thought experiment goes through, right? So it looks like Richard definitely intends to copy the system state of Ethereum. So essentially bringing over any ERC20 tokens to this new Pulse chain. Essentially trying to bring over the whole ecosystem to our fork of Ethereum. So that's the biggest takeaway for me. I really enjoy hearing that. Hopefully that is a thing. And then this X token, it looks like it's going to be some sort of placeholder that we're essentially going to have to turn in for Pulse token at some point, and how we actually receive that is going to be interesting, whether or not we're going to have an adoption amplifier, or if we're just gonna have to straight up buy it. I don't know. The X is the interesting one, but I know we were talking about the other night, and Coffee was hypothesizing that it's essentially some placeholder token that we're gonna have to acquire and then trade out for what will be the Pulse token at some point.
Yes, let's harken ourselves back to a day before Ethereum was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
How did people get Ethereum? They turned their Bitcoin in for it.
Bitcoin.
That's how they got Ethereum. Yeah. It's just like an ICO, and you had. It wasn't as evolved as EOS's ICO launch was, but you had a time period that you could turn in your Bitcoin and get some Ethereum, and I mean that would be an ideal situation, especially if you're First is you're gonna move away. We're gonna some level of moving away from HEX branding. Will be a part of this, and so I think, will you be able to turn in HEX for it? Maybe, but you'll definitely be able to turn in Ethereum and maybe even Bitcoin. Definitely Ethereum though, because that'll be easy on chain. I mean, wrapped Bitcoin maybe.
So what Hexy Mother said. So there's a big component with being the first mover advantage, right? Just like with Bitcoin, just like when Ethereum came out, just like when HEX. Like when you come up with something truly revolutionary and you have that first mover advantage. That's huge. That plays a big part of it. And then when you already have a very core, very strong community around that, you have a much higher chance of success. So like if anyone's going to be successful with this fork of Ethereum, it's going to be Richard, it's going to be PulseChain, it's going to be the HEX community that supports it, advertises it. And we were talking about this the last night on Nights of the Crypto Table. It's like Hexican's already out there doing their part and just essentially just pre-advertising PulseChain coming out, because you can take advantage of it right now. Everyone's bitching about Ethereum high gas fees and just not being able to transact or get into their tokens they want to. So you take that advantage and go in there and show them just like, hey, Richard Hart's coming out with a fork of Ethereum. You're going to have cheaper fees, faster fees. And guess what? Whatever your favorite ERC20 token is, you're going to get an airdrop of that on this new fork. So you get to maintain the position you have now over on PulseChain. So a lot of Hexicans should be out there promoting it, advertising it, and that way the hype is that much more exciting and better for price when the time comes.
Yeah, everybody's going to have a referral system to get X, whatever X is, maybe 20% more X when you tell people about X. I like that. I like that kind of thing. I was into that once before. I could be into that again.
Yeah, there's going to be some fun mechanics that go with it. And I think we're going to learn more come the end of this month. But I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, the interesting thing is what would be really crazy is if you had, there's some if you want to put FOMO pants on, why not make it just straight HEX, and you'd have to buy HEX to get into it. I don't think you'd do that because I don't think you'd want to exclude people. But man, could the price go really high then? Yeah. No, I think that's a really interesting idea. I think that the idea that you really just like forks did before. Richard's using when Bitcoin Cash forked from Bitcoin. I always sound like the grandpa crypto over here. I'm always like, back in the day when
back in my day.
Back in my crypto days.
So when Bitcoin Cash forked, there was not a consensus among exchanges. Oh, you're definitely going to get your Bitcoin Cash. There wasn't. You had people had to be like, yo, give us that shit. Yo, that's ours, And people then they were like, oh wait, so now I've got to write a bunch of code to give you free money? What? Why? Exchanges had to be coerced and then in the sense that it became a market thing, they gave their coins up. But out the gate, it wasn't guaranteed that you were going to get those coins if you were holding your coins, your Bitcoin in an exchange. So the reason I bring this up is because if you get free coins on a new chain that your platform has working front ends running for it, and all they have to do, just like MetaMask, is give a drop down for, hey, now you're working on the Pulse version, now you're working on the ETH version, people are going to be like, no, I want that. Can I get mine now, please? Your front end works for both. We know it works for both. It's just a change of the RPC port. It's literally the same thing. Please give me my free coins that I have over there. Thanks, PMA. Give me my free coins that I have over there. And people that want to play games. There's already projects that are purposefully doing this, going to layer 2, offering a layer 2 version of their product. That because they can't, their fun gamey toy spray painty thing or whatever NFT thing isn't working on base layer because of the costs. That's already happening. So what now? If somebody's going to give you that for free, and all you got to do is code one drop down and a change of port, people are going to they're going. At the very least, there's going to be some serious community support in each of these communities. Anybody that has these coins are going to be like, yo, can I get that? So that's cool, and I'm sure that everybody else who's forked ETH before is kicking themselves for not doing this, because it's pretty simple. I imagine that copying the system state of everything isn't an impossibility to do, But there's several forks I can think of that haven't done it.
My one big concern with this thought experiment is that if everything's copied over, there's the possibility that some of the big Ethereum whales that are loyal Ethereans, they might actually prefer to stay over there, and so they'll kind of, we might kind of see a big payday event where they'll just pretty much sell out apply all that their free stuff as sell pressure, and then bring all that back to Ethereum. So
it'd be cool. It'd be cool if there was a whale penalty again.
Yeah,
in that regard.
to mitigate that. Yeah.
To mitigate that. I mean, just for the massive whales out there, give them a chance to, hey, we're going to do the snapshot date here. If you want to split your ETH up into some separate wallets, go for it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a fair thing to do,
I didn't see this. When was this announced?
Yeah, this is what I was talking about. That was what we were watching. I was watching the chat earlier today.
Is this today?
Yeah, that was earlier in the day. Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
We're blocking already, man.
It looks like it's coming a lot sooner than expected. I don't want to jinx it, but
and that is still not your breaking news.
No. As Cabana likes to continue to tease everyone, there is still breaking news coming.
This Pulse thing is like all the news and development is happening so fast. I wonder if Richard Hart's just been secretly working on it for months and not told anyone.
He's definitely a few steps ahead almost always. So like he knew this was probably potentially what we were going to have to do. So he's always had this in his back pocket, and you're probably correct. He was definitely had this in mind, and he probably was working on it sooner than when it was released, but it probably got pressed to the forefront after like the Berlin fork, once that went through. And now we have, like Big K just said, he had to pay almost $500 to end almost early on, like 7-day stake. So that became a much more pressing issue than anything else he was working on. So he's probably working on a gambit of different things. This just all of a sudden took precedence after the last update on Ethereum, which essentially makes it suck even more.
Yep.
Well, good.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's a good thing. I mean, you're not. It's not a bad assumption. I mean, Crypty, you'd be in the ranks of the captain too. RG3 also.
That was my next point. It's a management of expectations, right? So we have, naturally, not everyone is going to have the same time horizon or expectations, regarding this rollout or launch of Pulse. So I'm in agreement some with Crypty that I think this has been worked on well before we first got true inklings of it, of Richard flat out saying I'm forking Ethereum on stream, and then Hexo tweeting, oh my gosh, tweeting Richard's forking Ethereum, and then everybody goes nuts. That was a cool night. But and
he does work in Richard's basement, so he does get the news first.
But then there's also I watched our buddies at Discourse too, and I think they were talking about it maybe last Friday, and Steph was in the chat, and he's like pumping the brakes, like whoa, because RG's floating the idea of like, oh, it could be next month.
We're in between RG3's prediction of end of this month and probably the 6 month prediction that
Steph's probably like 5 years. He's like, this takes time, which I respect too, because as a dev, and he did not say that, by the way, don't quote me on that, but
he just said not by the end of the month.
right. He was trying to pump the brakes on it, which he did.
Bring it back.
Which is responsible too, because I don't want anybody out there thinking, holy crap, this is happening imminently. It's not, but everything we're seeing so far, this is happening faster than I expected. But
stuff comes up as well. So
keeping expectations real, exactly, Motley. Stuff comes up, especially with software. So I would not, have your hopes, so high that you tune out everything else. Like keep the expectations real, but it is a truly exciting time for HEX and PulseChain, and the workflow seems to be going great. So
I'd rather Richard Hart and his devs take their time and do it right than rush it and fuck something up, essentially.
Yeah, great point. Rather have it delayed than come out early.
100%
for sure.
But I would like to see a launch phase that exists where we were talking about, like an ICO launch phase like that, adoption amplifier style launch, maybe shorter, but one that exists like rolling along with the chain. Like the chain launches, and during that time you have a period of time that you can still convert. That would be nifty, because like a chain already existing that would reduce fees now, is really what we're after. So like extending some sort of year-long adoption amplifier thing, I think is not worth our time. It was great for a bear market, but I think now is like no, we're moving. Things need.
Yeah, I didn't think about it being released in relation to the chain already being active as well. So that's interesting because that was my issue I had with the adoption amplifier strategy, was just like I don't want to delay that any more than we already have just by putting another adoption amplifier on it. But and doing it together, yeah, that might work. I like that.
Hey guys, I just had a thought. Richard Hart forking Ethereum and all the ETH ecosystem working on PulseChain. Does that mean that Uniswap can also work on PulseChain?
Yep. Oh yeah, for sure.
That's cool.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, like it would start operating on it on day one, as in like the smart contract would exist there already. So you'd literally just have to have a front end that would be written that would be able to talk to that. And I mean, Uniswap, like I said, could use theirs and just have a drop down right out. I mean, pretty early, like as early as they would like to offer it.
And this is a question kind of directed towards you, Big K. Do you think all these new ERC20 tokens that we have on PulseChain, do you think do we go into just like a price discovery mode when this new chain comes out? Or
I imagine that that's the thought experiment, because
that's what intrigues me, because there's a lot of speculation if that ends up being the case.
If you believe in cheaper fees and Hexagon's good, like heavily staked Hexagon's good nature to run nodes properly, and that works well, then you might speculate that those versions, those ERC20 versions, will do better, and so those that do may pile in heavily to them when they are launched and are worth basically nothing, from the start, So that there's also some other contingencies that I'm super interested in. Like you have USDC sitting there on Ethereum, and you get a copied version of USDC. What is that worth? That's not worth USDC $1. I mean, but,
yeah, the stable coin really kind of throws everything.
Yeah,
off a little
it's
bit
super
as well.
interesting, man. It's super interesting. Yeah. Will the market find a balance, and how fast? And and with what, and with everything, I mean, it's like this kind of thing has not been done before. As far as I have been watching in crypto, we've seen some forks, and I can understand this is the next evolution of a fork. I mean, it's really cool.
Sounds like a big news event for crypto.
I would hope so, man. I would hope so. If people are paying attention. If not, then there's the other thought in the game theory of if not,
opportunities there for us.
Exactly. Oh, you like some of these other shit coins that are out there? Well, you now have another chance to acquire them at near basement prices. It
reminds me of essentially having a day one of HEX all over again. Like you guys, if you missed out on the initial launch, you can almost get back into the initial launch of all the tokens that you want to back in the day. So there's so many different ways that can be done that just pile in the different game theories and stuff that you can do. It's going to be there's a lot of money to be made, essentially, is what it's going to come down to. So I can't get my dry powder fast enough at this point.
yeah. It's very interesting, man. It's super interesting. I mean, where there's going to be some serious winners and some serious. I mean, it's just going to be a very unique time. I mean, I can't say that every project, anything is going to be worth even investing in. Like I said, I'm thinking of the stable coins now. Like Hex Famous, is bringing up the point that but a USDC is backed by a deposit somewhere. So these won't be. So it's. I don't know. Like I said, I'm very interested in how everything is going to work out. It's going to be super cool. Super cool.
Yeah. Richard Hart's coming for Ethereum's launch. Watch out. It's going to be interesting.
All three meals.
All 3 square meals a day. They left the door open big time. So it's going to be interesting to see what Richard does.
I mean,
I'm ready for the ride.
The most popular question I see from skeptics is why then, if this is so easy, in quotes, because we know it's not, why hasn't anybody done this already? Just come in and take Ethereum's lunch.
I think it's very time intensive. Actually, I don't think it's that easy. I think
actually
copying
6 months a year.
Technically, Binance came pretty close with BSC, but they they didn't fork the whole system state. They just forked whatever benefited them. So
what they wanted. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. So this is actually a much more fair version of what
exactly
BSC just did.
Yep.
Ashtar.
Potentially. We don't know if this is confirmed yet. Potentially, this is
Potentially, this
Potentially
is,
that.
we like to speculate here.
Yep.
Is it breaking news time? Well, I'm looking at the total viewership, counting Twitch and YouTube. We are above 100.
Oh, nice.
So, I mean,
Sweet.
whenever we want, I mean, is there anything else to talk about for this
I think
thought
it's a good
experiment?
I love the thought experiment, but I think that it's going to, honestly, like, I think that this is talk that we're going to be having, like, even more.
We'll have more answers in, like, literally 7 days. So it's something that we can.
Is that your professional speculation, Motley?
He said by the end of the month, so that's what I'm going off of. All right.
Yeah, you're right. All right. Yeah, okay.
Hex, maybe Hex ladies. We'll see. We'll see. Should be interesting.
All right. So let's do a little lead into this breaking news, or whatever we want to call it. I'm going to call it breaking news because I think this is something really cool.
Yeah, I do too.
So, the one thing that I have always wanted, or to get a grasp on, is the supply and who owns what out there. What does the OA have? We had a really good peak during Big Payday as to what the supply situation was then. Then Big Payday happened, and a lot of
stakes were made.
A lot of stakes were made, and
97, 98%.
Yep. And a lot has happened since then. So with that all being said, I've just been like, okay, well, where do we stand now? Because with what I see in the trading bot, I see more and more supply getting bought up, prices going up. So we have, technically more buyers than sellers, but I also see this HEX getting staked out in large tranches, like millions for years, not just, a week or a month. I'm talking years out there. So I'm like, okay, well, what if somehow, some way we had a window or just an idea, a better idea? I'm not even talking an exact number of, what supply, where the supply stands, just a kind of like a snapshot or an idea of the supply. So with that all being said, there's a lot of work that's been done. I'll let Motley take it over from here as to, the prop giving and what we know so far. I haven't taken a deep dive into it yet, but it is truly exciting. So I'll hand it over to you, Motley.
All right, cool. So as a lot of you guys know, Silver the Antidote's kind of been our chain analysis guy a lot in the community. So he's done deep dives on the OA, on large wallet holders, all that stuff. And it's very, very amazing information, very good information, stuff that you can use to your advantage. And we've always known the OA has a very large supply of HEX. Not necessarily exactly how much, because it's tedious, right? Like as Silver has talked about in the past, it takes a lot of work to get into. It takes countless hours of digging, following wallets, a lot of chain analysis, and it's very, very tedious. As a lot of them have said, it's just like Chinese torture, just going through all that stuff slowly but steadily. It's painful. So there's another guy in the community, goes by Gunther in Telegram, and he's been painstakingly going through all of the. First of all, he started with all the OA addresses. So all the no OA addresses, he started going through them, seeing how much HEX they had in relation to the total supply, see what it ended up to be. And his first audit, as he was going through all the addresses, came out to about like 50%. And everyone's like, okay, 50%, that, I guess that makes sense. Some people were speculating on that. Some people were speculating higher. And I know I was in the camp of higher. I know Big K was in the camp of higher. And so I was like, yep, and Cabana as well. So I was just like, okay. I mean, if I didn't do the research, right? So like I can't actually go back and verify that. So I was just kind of taking it. So he continued to delve deeper, right? So those were all the addresses that we actually knew that were the OA 100%. Now, what Gunther did is he took it a step further. He put a couple other pieces of criteria in place. Anywhere between 20 Ethereum to 5,000 Ethereum, which is the max Ethereum that was put in the adoption amplifier. He went back and looked at all those addresses. He looked at all those addresses that met that criteria of 20 plus Ethereum to 5,000 Ethereum, these large Ethereum wallets. He followed all their behavior. He went and looked and saw a lot of these wallets, hundreds, even thousands of wallets that staked on Big Payday, just before Big Payday, and then they staked, and then they just stayed dormant. They've been dormant since that day. And that was his criteria to correlate it with the OA address. He's just like, hey, I can't say for sure that this is the OA address, but based off the behavior, based off what we saw, there's a strong chance that this actually correlates with the OA, and this is probably OA's wallets as well. Even though we can't directly connect it, there's a good chance this is actually OA's wallets as well, just based off the behavior. And let's say worst case scenario, it's not, right? It doesn't really matter. It's still doing the exact same thing. It's a bunch of HEX, that's liquid HEX that's been dormant since Big Payday, that's staked right before. So he used that behavior to calculate how much HEX is potentially owned by the OA, or at least diamond hands that haven't sold a single HEX since then. So what we got for you is his audit that he's done, and we'll post links in here in a little bit from the Telegram. So I'm going to go ahead and share the Excel spreadsheet if you want to put my screen up real quick, Cabana. Let me know when you got it up.
You up?
All right. So I don't know if you guys are going to be seeing the numbers. I'm going to show you all the crucial information.
Plus
yeah,
one, zoom it in.
I will in a second. I just want everyone to see how many addresses that Gunther actually went through, so they can appreciate this. So he literally went through over 3,000 addresses that match this criteria. So let me see if I can just kind of start going through this. So thousands and thousands of addresses.
Wow.
He's gone through, and it matched his criteria for what he. One, these are OA addresses that he knows for a fact, and then there's also the addresses that just fit that criteria that I just went over. So in total, 3,229 addresses. He's still finishing up his audit right now, so maybe more is to come. But we're about to show you the exact numbers, and they're pretty staggering, right? So this is just to show you the amount of work that goes into this, just hours and hours and hours of work that goes through this audit. So let me go ahead. And let me stop sharing that screen real quick. All right, and then I'm going to share one more command so everyone can actually see his findings thus far, so everyone can get an idea. All right, so we'll go to my Telegram. All right, and can they see these numbers, or do I need to blow it up?
I'm guessing you have to blow them up.
All right, I'll blow it up a little bit. Is it going to let me blow it up? There we go. Whoop. Hold on. Yeah, don't look at my random stuff I got in here. Can you guys see those numbers? Or do I need to blow it up more?
I don't think it's blowing up on
I
there.
can't really see them.
You can't see it?
No.
All right. I'll talk you guys through it. All right.
Can you screenshot it and blow it up? Maybe. I don't know.
I'm surprised it's not blowing up on y'all's. Hold on 1 second. I mean, why don't you try it, Cabana? I sent it to you in
Are you
Telegram.
sharing the wrong tab? Or
I thought it was in
hit
Telegram.
the dots in the upper right hand corner.
Yeah, I got
then
you.
you can hit zoom and then the plus button.
There.
I'll let
Share my
someone else
screen.
bring it up. There we go.
Got you.
I don't know why I wasn't showing up.
Yes.
Boom. So as you can see, he's got a couple different topics here. So first we have circulating HEX right now, right? So 90% of it, 90% of circulating HEX, staked HEX 10%, circulating HEX 90%. Next, you have the OA stakes. So this is how much the OA stakes. So a lot of you guys have been HEX since the beginning. You know the OA originally started to stake its HEX, but then it realized very quickly that the more HEX it staked, the lower APY we would get on our stakes. So it stopped. So because initially the OA thought it had to stake to essentially gain the community's trust. Like, hey, I'll take all this liquid HEX I have and stake it. Then the OA learned with us, right? Which is really cool kind of experiment. The OA realized as I stake more, I'm reducing what the yield the community gets for staking. So the OA realized, hey, I actually need to keep a large bag of this liquid. So as you can see, OA has just shy of 13% staked right now, whereas the users have about 87% of the stake supply. Now, OA liquid HEX. So all the liquid HEX that's available on the market right now, according to Gunther's research, 95% of it is owned by the OA.
Dang.
Only 4.4%, so about 4.5% is actually HEX outside the OA's control. So that's a pretty wild number. So that shows you how scarce HEX is at the moment. Like it is, when Johnny's talked about this, right? You have marbles and you have diamonds. Everyone thinks they have a bunch of marbles now with HEX being at 2 cents. No, you're closer at diamonds right here. Really, there's about a 4.5% supply circulating HEX because the OA has yet to sell a single HEX to date based off those 3,000 plus addresses that Gunther has gone through. Right, real quick, OA's T shares. They account for about 18% of the system, total supply in the system. User T shares about 82%. OA ownership, so this is the total supply they own of HEX, about 87%. So a lot of us have been speculating anywhere between about 85% of total supply is actually owned by OA, and this kind of confirms that. Just shy, a little bit over it, about 87% is currently owned by the OA. So user ownership is a little bit over 12%, around 13%. So when you look at almost 10% of the supply staked, you're really only looking at a couple percent that's actually available to the market. So that kind of goes back to that 4% that's liquid now currently. So it just shows you how rare HEX actually is right now, because the OA has yet to sell a single HEX. There's really not that much HEX available on the market. And we all know how that works in relation to price. Price goes up very quickly, very, very rapidly. You guys can literally look at your staker one day and you could see 2 to 3x off just based off a potential market buy of like $1 million or $2 million, which is nothing in this space. And then lastly, you have the user staked HEX, 68.29%, circulating HEX, 31%, total ownership, 100%. So Gunther has gone through all this, like we stated earlier, over 3,000 addresses, crazy amount of work went into this. He's still finishing it up. He's still opening it up to other people like Silver and T-Don and other people in the community that do chain analysis to verify his work. But so far, everything that everyone's gone over, and I'm still kind of piecing my way through it as well, seems pretty damn accurate. And this really shows you how rare the HEX that you have is in the system state right now. It's they truly are diamonds. A lot of people just don't realize it yet. But yeah, there
Those
you
are
go.
some awesome stats. Thanks for sharing, Motley.
Amazing
And-
stats.
and Gunther.
Thanks to Gunther.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yes,
thanks to
very
Gunther.
nice work, Gunther.
And another thing, so I was talking to Gunther right before the stream. I really want him to get on a stream with Silver the Antidote and do a nice two-way stream where they can compare their notes, talk about what this means for HEX, and I think it'd be a very good stream for the community and pretty much anyone that's interested in HEX, and really show you what the potential HEX has, the upside, and how rare it is. It's infinitely more rare than what we realize today. Just imagine how it's going to be 5, 10, 15 years down the road.
Hey, he's in the chat, man.
Oh, perfect.
nice.
Hey, Gunther. Hopefully I explained
Gunther.
everything right. If I said anything wrong,
Oh,
please
wait.
correct me.
I think that's it. Maybe it's like somebody
Yeah.
being funny, but
That's I'm pretty positive that's Gunther.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Gunther plus.
Gunther plus.
Let's keep it short. Yeah, but pretty amazing work. And guys, if you haven't done chain analysis, to do it on that many addresses it's absolutely brutal. The amount of hours he's put in that audit thus far is pretty mind-blowing.
it's like it's
It is me. Yeah, that is the real Gunther.
Yeah, well, he says it's him. I don't know.
Okay, good.
Great
I
job.
explained it correctly.
Well articulated.
Good.
Great.
Yeah, I'd love
Fantastic.
to hear him on stream too, or
Yep,
at least just his YouTube video going over it.
Yeah, he was talking to me. He's like, "Do you think the community would be okay if I didn't show my face?" Because, like, he likes to stay a little bit more reserved. And I was like, I think that would be more than fine. I mean, Silver was the same way when he first started. So I think it would just be cool to have those two on stream and compare notes and just talk about what it means for the future of HEX. It looks pretty awesome, in my opinion.
That
I
is
mean,
so
that is
cool.
insane work right there.
I'd love for him to, like, when he has a chance to take it, the two of them to take it further, to see how many of those addresses are, and if any other ones with similar activity are still accumulating and buying up market dips, or and see how that's all, see what's going
That
on
would be
with
that would be very interesting as well. And yeah, I know I've been following his audit, but then like I just recently saw it updated in Telegram. I forgot one of the Hexicans tagged me in, and I looked at it and I saw the updated numbers. So I was like, okay, I was like, this is what I was more expecting. It was cool that he applied that criteria that's not necessarily linked to the OA, but based off the behaviors, it's more than likely an OA or an entity owned by the OA, essentially. But at the end of the day, does it really matter if it's essentially has the exact same characteristics of what the OA is doing?
Yeah, and Johnny is putting a couple comments in here, and I also respect that too. So this is the second one I've seen. It's like the crypto space is used to founders selling. They will not understand what this means, even though we do, and we find this insanely bullish and price positive. Be prepared for the paranoia. They don't understand the OA doesn't need to sell.
Well, you know what a lovely counterpoint, just like Johnny said, the OA doesn't need to sell. You know how much freaking other cryptocurrency the OA has between?
Oh my gosh, man.
Between one, it's Ethereum bags. Between
Uni?
all the liquidity it's provided on Uni. And guess what? It hasn't sold its Uni yet. So you're talking what? Uni's at like $32 or something right now. Bags and bags of Uni. Probably got some of the 1-inch airdrop. Like the OA is absolutely loaded with not only Ethereum.
I would dare say Tornado as well.
Oh, Tornado, like everything. The amount of funding that the OA has at its
disposal,
that it's able to access, at its disposal, is mind-boggling, and it doesn't ever have to touch a single penny of HEX, which is it's amazing. Thank you crypto for printing out all this free money. You've just given the OA one of the largest marketing budgets in the history of the crypto space, and it all goes towards HEX, maybe potentially PulseChain. I don't know if the two are linked, but if I had to guess, I think there might be some similarities there. It's just a very bright future for HEX and everything that's going to be built around it over the next couple of years, and I'm excited to be a part of the ride for sure.
Yeah,
it's true. Every other community is used to some sort of emission schedule or unlock schedule or whatever, where like everyone's like, this is when I'm going to sell, and this is how fast the thing I'm going to sell. You know, it's like part of what you're expecting with, you know, and everybody kind of gets over it pretty quickly. I mean, like whether it was, you know, Charlie Lee selling the top, you know, and telling people he was doing it, to, you know, whoever, you know, Vitalik selling to donate to Sentence, whatever your noble cause is, you know, that's part of it, you know.
That's what makes crypto and the blockchain so beautiful too, right? Like you can literally, by the work that like Gunther just did, you can literally go and verify all of this. You can go see all the on-chain analysis of all these transactions, see that it's never sold a single HEX. Like we have proof, whereas FUDDers, like Johnny was saying, hey, be prepared for people just paranoid because they're used to founders dumping on people's head. We actually have verifiable proof now that we can literally just send them that audit. It's like, feel free to go through these 3,200 plus addresses that we all did and not see a single HEX was ever sold. So, in my opinion, I'd rather have HEX in their hands than any other, even people on this stream. I'd rather have it in their hands than our own hands because they are not going to sell. Whereas people like us, we will take profits at some point.
Yeah, you can't trust me, man. Shit.
Yeah. You moved to Puerto Rico just so you could enjoy more of those profits, right? But it's a beautiful system.
Yeah, Archie. I mean, this is really bullish, but I've seen this number floated out there, but. 10K. Just think if Ethereum appreciates even more. I mean, it's already looking stronger versus Bitcoin anyway. So those bags, you could potentially
you could see 5-digit Ethereum by the end of this year easy. You could see 10K plus Ethereum by the end of the year. If we get that like double top that a lot of us are kind of anticipating. Yeah, you're looking at 10K plus Ethereum.
Yeah, and that's again Uni. Exactly. You know, I mean, all of them, and especially if, you know, we do get an alt season, that's the stuff that's going to move compared to Bitcoin. If we see, you know, the alt versus BTC chart continue what it's been doing.
It's just funny because we're just such creatures of past habits. Like, yeah, don't fear the OA, fear everyone else. Whereas the rest of the crypto space, they're hardwired, right? Like we believe like everyone's out. As much as everyone likes to say they're in it for the tech, we all know that people are in it to make money. So everyone is paranoid of founders dumping because 99% of the time we've seen that take place over and over and over in the space. So when we see that large centralization of a cryptocurrency, we're afraid, we throw up red flags, besides the HEX community, because we understand what the OA is for, the benevolent behavior, how it enables us to earn our insane yield, how it enables us to essentially continue our price upward and just become more and more scarce. And whereas the rest of the crypto space, that's something they've yet to learn because they really haven't seen anything like that yet.
Yeah. I want to bring in CRYPTY here for a question. So what is it, and I think we probably know or could take a guess, but, you know, say it gets known, that you own Hex, in your crypto circles. What would you say is like the number one fear or, I guess, comment about it when they know, or FUD or whatever? Is it I don't like Richard, or it's a scam, just like the parrot response, or is it something deeper?
It depends on the community or the person. I think each person has a different level of acceptance of Hex, which is kind of funny. Some people absolutely think it's a scam, and they don't even tell people. They tell people don't even research it because it's a scam.
Still,
instead of like don't even buy it, they're like don't even research it. And that's definitely crossing a line, because it's like if someone tells you not to read a book, are you going to listen to them and not read the book just because they tell you not to, or tell you the book is evil?
Makes me want to read it even more.
Yeah, I read a book in like a year and a half, and like now I want to read whatever book that is.
If someone tells you not to research something, that's like a red flag. But yeah, so some people will do that. Other people have accepted Hex, and they're not really a Hexican quite yet, but they've accepted Hex and are learning more about it. And some of their fears are, I guess, technology in the future. Is it going to be outdated when we have quantum computers that have already cracked the Bitcoin code? And if they wanted to, could take Bitcoin down. But there is technology like Nexus that is quantum computing resistant, and the Nexus people are planning to share that technology with the rest of the cryptocurrencies, which will be good. So personally, I feel like technology will grow and be updated as time goes on, as required and as necessary. But yeah, it's different for each person in each community.
Yeah, and I guess you're still facing that even today, like the scam thing. Have you seen a decrease at all in that? Or is it just the same as it's ever been, or just people are set with their ways now and that's it, and you just move on?
I've seen more people come out publicly accepting Hex, but there's still a huge margin of people thinking Hex is a scam. But since there are more people coming out publicly being like Hex is okay, then it's improving the global mindset of it, and the global thought is uplifting for Hex, and that's really where it's at.
Good. I like to hear it.
Sounds good.
As Kurk stretches out his shirt.
So I was thinking earlier, since the OA has a whole bunch of money that could use for marketing for Hex, like Motley, like you were saying. So if each of you guys had $1 million for marketing either Hex or Pulse, what would you use that money for? Like, what marketing methods would you put that $1 million to?
Am I going first?
Whoever.
Go ahead, Motley, because I'm still thinking.
Okay. Well, so I know stuff in the past that I've done is I did billboards. That was a complete flop. Didn't get much traction on that, kind of an outdated.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So there's a lot of digital billboards out there now that you can buy time slots for. So I did a lot of Hex billboards in the beginning.
Last night, I was literally looking up the cost of billboards.
I think I used go to Blip. It's like Blip billboards, I think is what I use. But they have them in different big metropolis areas, and you can put your advertisement on there. You can pick your time slots you want it to show, and then you can it gives you a certain, hey, pay 50 cents per showing for this length of time during this time of day, prime time, or if you want to back it out. So I play with a bunch of different stuff you can do. Didn't gain much traction from that, but I mean, it's stuff you can do. Honestly, what I've found a lot is I've done a lot of like super chat campaigns where I've already reached out to existing audiences, essentially big influencers, whether it be someone like Joey Ingram or Doug Polk that are in the poker community, or Ben Mala and Graham
Ben Mala is
Stephan
great.
that are in the real estate industry. Essentially, a lot of stuff that's not necessarily crypto, but it's investment. It's a lot of like-minded individuals that are looking for those assets that return you a yield on your initial investment. And so my goal is to essentially get in front of a much larger audience than crypto that are essentially probably no coiners, or if they do have an idea of crypto, it's very limited. And I've seen a lot of success, one on just my staker referral, or just on getting them to mention it to their audience. And I found that honestly to be the most effective thing I've done thus far. If I had to extend that out more and I had like $1 million plus, I'd probably do something along the lines that Crypto Coffee does, where he gets ad campaigns together, gets good SEO, good search terms, and start trying different Facebook advertisements, Google advertisements, essentially anything to get HEX in front of more eyeballs. But for me personally, I've just messed around with some billboard stuff, some super chat, essentially reaching out to an already established community of investors has been my most successful route thus far. So I just amplify that.
Kirk. Or I'll go if you're still thinking.
No, I'm not thinking. I like public things. I plan to do some public things, so I don't want to be totally like, yeah, I'm doing this or that or anything. But yeah, you know,
what he means is he's already got some stuff in the works that he can't disclose yet.
There's cool things that you can do, but yeah, well, like, you know, I think that like getting in front of more eyeballs is ideal. So like, yeah, I've always liked Richard's idea to do, like, I loved his idea back when to do a Bitcoin, you know, Super Bowl ad. It's like, I don't feel like Super Bowl has as much traction as it does as, you know, the advertising thing as it used to. But I always like that. But that's events are cool, you know, events are cool. Like, you know, things where people are all there. I like that kind of stuff, which has been really tough. It's like, I come from like a, you know, I used to, you know, work hospitality, and I know that element of, you know, having a good time and throwing a good time. And I like that a lot, you know, so like it's the COVID thing has been really, it's a big bummer. But you know, that'll all pass. And then I'm sure there'll be some fun things to do.
Vince, as the Bare Naked Ladies song goes, if I had $1 million, what would you do?
Buy more HEX. The end. Pump everyone's bags. Market buy 1 million.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, I just thought about it.
I love an advertisement.
Well, one of the things that I've had some interest in looking into is you know, sometimes on Twitter when you it only happens with a certain amount of coins, but like Bitcoin and crypto.com, but when you use their hashtag, they also get a logo on the side. I would like to, maybe if I had the spare money, contribute but actually buy like a HEX and Pulse logo, so that when we use the hashtag on Twitter, get that nice logo
That'd be sweet.
next to it. Yeah.
That would be well thought.
That's a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
I'd dig that.
Nice.
Yeah.
I
didn't know those could be bought.
Yeah, I don't.
Popular.
Oh, I think that's why
what the
most of
process
them are
is,
there.
Yeah, you have to go through some chat. Like, you have to reach out to Twitter's like marketing team. I think there's some people that you need to reach out to, and I don't know what the process is. But,
reach out to. Yeah.
Reach out with the reach out.
I like my market
money.
buy strategy of $1 million. Win for me, win for you guys.
Yeah, win for everyone.
Yeah. Get you in front of more eyeballs.
How about you, Cabana?
HEX rockets it.
I'm from the digital marketing world, so I go straight to like digital ads. So what Vince says is great. I think that would be part of that strategy. It's so tough because, as Coffee has noted and run into, you know, the restrictions on crypto are silly, and it's just so. It's quite annoying because I have tried it myself. He has more patience, and I think he's spent more time on it than I have. Another thing is I would spend a ton on SEO and building up content. I just don't think Richard is cared to spend the time or money on that. But what I mean by that is, say you Google, HEX or HEX scam, and, all, these links pop up. The more content that you create, whether it's on your site or other sites and that you're farming out to it, and, gunning for those particular keywords, pushing those other results down that someone just threw up there. That's the type of exposure that I would like to achieve at some point. Really, if we're packing our bags down here, that's cool. If people still want to buy right now, great. But if a campaign like that started to take over and push all those results down, as price keep going up, awesome. And it's a process. It's my industry. I know it very well. You need, people that write well. You need the right keywords. You need, the right, tech specs on the page. Meta, all that stuff, imagery, all of it. Go for the algo. That's right, Motley. I see you in chat. But yep,
got you.
All this, every front, like Vince mentioned, social. Coffee's done paid ads. If you can do that, I think there are actually crypto advertising platforms that they will put your ads on crypto related and investment sites. So anything that you could actually have the time to try to get approved and go through that process, I think, through those crypto ad platforms, they kind of do that stuff for you as well. But yeah, I just go all digital for my stack.
Great ideas. I love it. And especially what you said, Cabana, about the ranking and keywords, and when you type in HEX or HEX scam, like having something positive at the top of search results instead of HEX is a scam. Definitely.
Shout out to Taylor, who does a lot of our HEX articles. He's
Absolutely.
done a couple of those where he's mentioned HEX is a scam and like question mark. And then you get in the article and it starts mentioning a lot of the points people say HEX is a scam. And then it slowly shifts as you start reading through the article into where HEX is actually not a scam and why people make those common mistakes and confusion.
Yeah.
So shout out to Taylor and those awesome articles. Essentially replacing the actual people calling HEX a scam articles with his articles, which are much better written. And they actually show that HEX is in fact not a scam for certain reasons, and they show you why.
Yeah, and search engines like Google love direct answers to questions. So that example might not do so well in the search engine because he kind of fools the user in a way. I don't want to say fool, but you know what I mean? Like you lead in with a question and then slowly transition to at the end. It's like, aha, it's not. But if you're answering a question flat out, so take the most popular questions: is HEX a scam? Is HEX a Ponzi? All this stuff. You write a detailed piece on each of those. Don't put them all in one, but go after that particular phrase, in a particular article. Focus on that topic and get very detailed with it. Again, it takes time. You can't just write out your own personal explanation as to why you don't think this. There's a talent to it, and there are reasons why there are content writers that get paid for this stuff. But that's why I'd spend the money on, because if you write that correctly and you have enough content out there to start push this other stuff down, gets pretty fun, even more fun than I think it's already going to be. So
yeah, Taylor's also former Navy, so rock on to the Navy brothers and
your Navy bros.
Yep. Navy and the rest of the military that's in HEX. There's a lot of us.
Yeah.
Well done, Taylor.
Yeah. All right, well, we're like a couple hours in. You want to round out maybe with some jokes and some weekend stuff. We'll close it out here. So for anyone who is not familiar with the HEX Happy Hour show, every now and then Vince and I will do a joke off, as they say. And
joke each other off.
Yes. Yeah, thank you, Motley. And
gotcha.
Try to make each other laugh. It's a best of 7. And sometimes I think we're actually tied in the overall series. Is that right, Vince?
It's like
Probably.
2, 3
and
ties.
8.
Yeah. The last ones have been pretty close. The problem is you guys keep doing the same. You guys don't have new material.
We
guys are
have
good.
new material. It's just we kind of see each other's jokes, and then we can't laugh because it's something that we've kind of like saved
Researched
before.
already. Yeah.
But yeah, we'll go through this. We have our esteemed judges. So Vince, may or may not have hidden behind his microphone or hand before, hiding his laughter. May have happened once.
It plays.
Once or twice.
Yeah. So keep an eye out for that, judges. That's all I'm saying. So
I'm more
Vince-
conscious of that now that people have pointed it out.
Maybe we should do that, like a no hands rule in front of the face, like
Yeah.
no cover it up. We can make
That's
that
right.
a thing for moving forward.
It's like Stefan on SNL for SNL fans when it was good
Yeah, it's
before it
pretty
got
much dead
stupid.
now, but
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Yeah.
When it was good, precisely that way. All right, so let's see if this works. There you go, Vince. You're right next to me.
Smack in
I
the
could just be
middle.
like, "Hey, Vince,
You can also just click on the person and drag them.
thank you."
Oh, nice.
The jokes are
Look
much
at what
more
I just
effective.
did.
The jokes are much more effective when your screens are right next to each other. Clearly, they
We're
pack
right next
that
to
much
each
more of
other.
a punch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Digitally, yeah.
Uh,
I haven't done this in a minute, so
yeah, it's been
all right,
a
it's
while.
a jam-packed show. We got breaking news, we got easy trivia, we got jokes. All right, Vince as champion, or the last
was I
champion. Well, the last one to win, to get a victory. Do you want to go first or second?
I'll go second.
All right. Hey, Vince,
Hey, Cabana.
have you heard about the corduroy pillow?
No, I haven't.
Well, how have you not? It's been making headlines.
That's a good one.
It's like the lines on the pillow.
Yeah.
Corduroy. Kirk's,
Headlines.
yeah.
Kirk
Kirk-
laughs at everything. He's a bad example.
It's not as bad as
Sometimes I
Yoshi.
laugh because it's funny. Sometimes I laugh because it's painful. I laugh for many reasons.
It's because he loves botany so much. That's why he's always
that's really
Yes.
funny.
I
Yeah.
love flowers and plants.
Well, hey, Cabana.
Hey, Vince.
How does a computer get drunk?
I don't know how.
It takes screenshots.
It's good. It's really good. I'm like, I think I held it together, but Kirk and Crypty almost got me.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it was good. That's why we leave the audio on.
Bring on the cheesiness.
Yeah, oh, it's as cheesy as it can get. I love it.
Hey, Vince.
Hey, Cabana.
What do they call shoes with wheels in Africa?
Shoes with wheels in Africa. I don't know.
Swahilis.
That's it. That's 1 point for Cabana. Nice. I like it.
I gotta give a special shout out to Bala G on that joke. He gave me permission.
Oh my god!
Thank you,
Nice.
Bala.
So terrible.
Knights of the Crypto Table love their Heelys. They come up very often.
Yeah, man, I may have had a pair on my day.
There you go.
Well, sometimes, Joe, I gotta explain it. Didn't have to explain that one as I gotta laugh.
Yeah, it totally ruins the humor. Hey, Cabana.
Hey, Vince.
How many software devs does it take to change a light bulb?
I don't know. I'm sorry, Steph.
None. It's a hardware problem.
Oh, it's a play on words. Gotcha. Okay. Hope you're bringing some more heat than that, Vince. It's on today. It's on.
He wins one joke. Now he's cocky.
It is a serious feat to make Vince laugh. So I'm just, I haven't done it in like 3 shows or 3 joke offs. Anyway,
3 joke offs. Yeah.
3 joke offs. Hey, Vince.
Hey, Cabana.
How much does a chimney cost?
I don't know. How much does it cost?
Nothing. It's on the house.
Yeah. Good one.
Thank you, Kirk. Ooh.
Solid.
Hey, Cabana.
Yeah, Vince.
Why did the computer show up late for work?
I don't know why.
Because it had a hard drive.
All tied up. Let's go.
All
1-1. All tied up. We better not end and tie
I was on
again,
the ropes,
swear.
man. I was already on the ropes, so yeah. All right.
Damn, the hard drive did it to you, huh?
Yeah.
As long as the hard drive has Bitcoin in it, I guess.
Definitely not the floppy drive.
It's perfect. All right.
Oh, Pulse
Back
is
to the
mad.
joke off.
Oh, Pulse is
Apologies,
so
CRYPTY Girl. All right. Hey, Vince.
Hey, Cabana.
Why? All right. Sorry,
I'm supposed to laugh at your.
I read the
Wait,
wrong
is that
one.
a point?
No, I read the wrong one.
I
I was reading the wrong one. I already read it, and then I was like, I can't do that.
Own goal.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
no. Hey, Vince.
Hey, Cabana.
Why do dogs float in water?
I don't know.
Because they're all good boys.
Oh,
I'm disappointed, Vince. I'm disappointed.
Oh, come on.
That was awful.
He likes animals. It's good.
Wait, 2-1. 2-1.
It was so terrible. It was
So
good.
bad.
Thank you.
So bad. That was trash. Vince, come on.
Sorry,
If you guys can't tell, I'm
ashamed
biased.
of you.
I'm biased, by the way. I don't know.
I want to study botany with Kirk.
Yeah, if you study botany with Kirk, you'd laugh at more awful jokes.
I love Motley's reaction there. It's-
Pat.
Hey, Gunther, you stick to the OA, bro. You stick to the OA. That's all I'm saying. I'm kidding.
Thanks for all the hard work, but get back to it.
yeah,
No,
appreciate it.
From 1 Ethereum bias to 20 Ethereum bias. No, just kidding.
Thank you, Gunther. Seriously, thank you. Whew. All right. Oh, man.
Hey, Cabana.
Oh, man. See, you're trying to capitalize. I'm still laughing.
Take your time.
No, it's more fun this way. Yeah, Vince.
What kind of power do iPhone chargers provide?
I'm lucky because I think I know this. What?
Apple juice.
Yes.
Still funny, though. You could laugh at it if you wanted to.
Why would I laugh?
Was it dud?
No, it's actually very funny. I just heard that one a couple of weeks ago. Whew. I don't even know what round we're on. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I have
Just take the square root.
fifth round.
6?
Score. Fifth.
Yeah.
Oh, 5th. All right. Whew. Hey, Vince.
Hey, Cabana.
Why did the cell phone need glasses? We've got a cell phone theme here.
I don't know.
It lost all of its contacts.
That makes sense.
Big K is dying.
It's
that's
a
pretty
good
bad.
Friday. It's a good Friday. I'm enjoying myself. What can I say?
I love the decline in the chat from Gunther. This is a fun group. I join more often in the future. So awkward. Painful to watch.
Yeah,
The
it goes
slow
down.
burn.
It goes down rapidly.
Yeah. Ooh.
Only
Oh,
a couple
man.
more, guys. There's only a couple more.
There's only a couple more.
Hmm.
I'll do what's good for your weekend. To
And we can
close
talk
it out.
about some UFC.
That's right. Close it out.
All right. Well, let's continue then. Hey, Cabana.
Yeah, Vince.
What do a PC and an air conditioner have in common?
I don't know.
They both lose efficiency as soon as you open Windows.
Yeah.
That's good. That's pretty good. I like that one.
because Microsoft, and then like
That was a clever one.
yeah, it was very clever, Vince. Almost
Thank
too
you.
clever.
Clever. Cabana had to think about it too much, so it didn't work.
Yes.
Sorry.
Hey Vince,
Hey, Cabana.
did you know that I'm 100 days sober?
Oh no! Congratulations.
Thank you. Not in a row or anything, just total.
Wait. That went over my head.
It did.
I wasn't even paying attention.
I think Kirk got it. Maybe Kirk gave it.
I got it.
Oh,
I
Hey,
got
thanks,
it.
Kirk. I appreciate it.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that one.
You got to think about the caliber of your audience, Cabana.
I think
What's that say about Vince? Kirk got it.
No,
I mean,
I honestly wasn't listening.
I laugh
to
at
this,
everything.
so
I can't.
Okay.
I can't.
there you go.
Thank you, Lights Out. I appreciate it. All right.
Is this the
Wow.
last round, or you guys got one more?
Is it? I have a couple spares, but
This is the last round.
I think you have 2, Vince, and I have 1.
okay.
Got this, Vince.
Thankfully
Wait, is
for
it?
the
Is it?
audience.
It's 2-1
Oh.
Cabana right now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Hey, Cabana.
Yeah, Vince.
Why can't an IT guy keep a girlfriend?
I don't know why.
He keeps turning them all off and on again.
Oh, you're so close, bro. Come on.
Like
Just
restart? Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
It's a power, just a straight power cycle.
The
you know?
typical IT solution to everything.
Yes.
And it usually works. So credit to them.
Straight. Not with. Not. I mean, not saying with ladies that works. Obviously, that's why you couldn't keep a girlfriend.
Gotcha.
Yes.
I get it.
Pretty
I get
bad.
it.
Okay. Hopefully Vince has a ringer for the
IT
for the
crowd
last one.
joke. Nice. There you
David
go,
likes it.
David.
There you
There
go.
you go, David.
One of
Yeah.
my favorite shows.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that
Oh,
show so much.
I just find that annoying though. Like when you call them and that's their first suggestion. It's like, yeah, I tried
Did you
that.
restart?
Did you restart? Like,
Did you
yes.
Plug it and unplug it?
Yes. But they
Yep.
got to start there every time.
That's the first place you start, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
It solves
Alright.
a lot of people's problems.
Yes.
Yeah. We
That's
would
for, like,
we'd send. I used to work on the railroads, and we'd like have very expensive cameras, very high end equipment, and like you'd have to send people all the way out in the middle of wherever, and then you go out, get out there, and be like power cycle it
Did
Okay, well,
you work all day long on the railroads?
all the live long day. In
All
fact.
the live
Ah.
long day.
All the
Crypty's
li-
like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, I got it.
Okay.
Just not funny.
I was saying it was like before her time.
True
but-
dad jokes.
Uh,
True dad jokes.
I forgot what part of the segment of the show we were in. Sorry, my
There we go.
apologies. Let's continue.
I think we're all right. Last round. Let's get out of here.
All right.
Hey, Vince.
Hey, Cabana.
Where do mansplainers get their water?
I don't know.
From a well, actually.
It's a good
Thanks.
one.
Thank you, Kirk and Crypty. I see you guys laughing there.
I don't get it.
I don't think she was laughing.
I thought of all people, Crypty would get it. You know, mansplaining
I thought
something. They're like,
Crypty would
well,
get it of all
actually,
people.
sweetheart. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That was the first one I didn't get. I was like, what does this have to do with wells?
It's because it wasn't funny, Crypty. Don't be too upset. You're good.
Ouch.
Oh, I felt good about going to the last round with that. Now I'm like,
All right, Vince, can you make it
Oh,
a
you're
tie?
doing great. Come on, finish strong.
thank you,
I
thank
have
you,
a
Chad,
good
for
ring.
laughing.
Go.
Oh, oh.
Potty humor always gets Cabana. So if you got any-
Unfortunately,
you
I
got any
don't
of
have
those?
potty humor, but
Oh, well,
we'll
that's
see
good.
if this works.
I know. I love this.
Oh.
Hey, Cabana.
Alex's comment here.
Pork would be good. Yeah.
We all have to suffer through it, Alex. All right.
All right.
Hey, Cabana.
Yeah, Vince.
Where's the best place to hide a dead body?
I don't know where.
The second page of a Google search.
Oh yeah, okay. Because like
And
marketing joke.
and your winner,
It's a marketing joke.
Cabana.
An SEO joke.
I got it, but it's like
Congrats, Cabana.
thank you.
Oh,
It's been like
man.
months.
Yep.
So.
3-2.
Look at
All
that.
right.
Look at that. Nice work,
Cabana pulls ahead.
Man, I got Vince to laugh twice. That never happens. Like
It's
once
been a
is
while.
once
It's
is
been a
hard
while
enough.
since we've had a joke off. So
Well, I think he said like my joke was so bad, like he had to laugh. So good boys.
mercy,
like,
mercy.
puppy
laugh.
dogs. I think it was like the animal jokes. I'm gonna have to do more dog jokes, but
Seems
anyway.
like a good bonding session.
Yes. Well, thank you for sticking through this. Cryptomatic. And on an
And on an SEO.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right.
Lesson
So
learned.
let's put a bow on this. Call this, what's good for the weekend. So Vince, what you got going on this weekend? I know, we'll get into Quick's UFC with Motley here, but you got anything cool going on?
Not much. I just have some extra cash coming into Coinbase, so
Ooh.
gonna hopefully buy up the rest of the HEX dip if there is one. So
The rest of that 25 billion supply or whatever it was.
yeah, the
Oh,
tiny
not even-
little
I think
amount.
it's like a billion or
Yeah.
two is actually
Yeah.
out there compared to what the OA owns.
yeah,
Yeah.
nothing really going on. Yeah.
Big Kirk, what's
I mean,
anything going on?
I'm playing with some kids. I mean, my kids. Hanging out. Not like a bunch of other kids.
Oh
or
my
anything.
God.
Like,
god!
Hey,
You're
You're
just
just trying to
man.
give the trolls material, like play with the kids.
That's what I do. That's what my weekends are filled with. I have a 4-year-old and a 6-month-old.
Stop.
that's mine.
That was funnier than the entirety of the joke off.
God dang it.
It's just for all y'all
Oh
trolls
my
out
God.
there. That's what my weekends are full of. So that's what I'll be doing.
Stop.
No specific plans.
How many kids do you have, Kirk?
I have a 4-year-old and a 6-month-old. So
Oh wow! So you have a little baby. That must
Yes,
take
it's very-
a lot of time.
this is very exciting. It's
A
very
little
exciting
patient.
time.
I'm so happy that you spend time with them. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Glad
Yeah,
you don't
it's-
neglect them.
No, I'm
Good job, Dad.
just on Friday nights, so you can find me here, maybe even at the F and Hangout later, neglecting my family. The rest of the time I'll be very present and accountable.
Actually, sometimes the family even appears on stream when he
They do
least expects.
sometimes.
They can
that was
open
why
doors.
That was why I had to pop out of here for a second. My daughter was wondering if I where her play tools were. She was very interested in her tools today. So
It's okay. You're just spending time with your other family.
yes, exactly. This is
Hex
my
fam.
Mexican family here. Yes,
That's right.
it's been-
Crypty, what you got going on this weekend?
Oh, I was thinking of playing Ultimate Frisbee tonight. So sometimes I stay home and watch Discourse Syndicate, and sometimes I go and play Frisbee on Friday nights.
Is that frisbee golf?
No,
Oh,
Ultimate Frisbee's.
the sport.
Yeah,
What is it?
It's
Like-
think about like essentially like
Lacrosse?
football with a frisbee.
Oh, cool.
You got two
Oh.
end
Like-
zones. You got to get to the other end. You have
Yeah,
teams.
2 goals, 2 teams.
That's
Throwing
awesome.
it to your teammates.
Nice.
When you catch it, you have to stop running, and then the other
Mhm.
team just tries to intercept the frisbee out of the air, and then
Yeah.
you catch it in the goal to get a point.
This is why we do what's good for the weekend. Learn something. There you go.
Mm.
And tomorrow I'm flag waving the U.S. flag, so it's a
Where at?
patriotic thing, yeah.
Where?
And just out in my local community, I'm pretty active locally.
Cool.
And I'm learning to rollerblade too. It's been like a decade since I've been rollerblading.
Nice.
So
Nice.
learning again, it's fun.
Awesome.
How about
Motley.
you, Motley?
Selling one of my proprities. So I'm
Oh,
going
you haven't
down.
sold it all for ETH yet?
No, but that's the plan. So I'm going down. I'm meeting with the investors and their contractors. Going to go through and tour my property, and hopefully we can try to close potentially by the end of this month or early next month. So hopefully just in time to catch the dip, but we'll see. So definitely do a little mix of HEX and ETH is the plan.
I thought you were gonna buy Pulse with that.
No, well, I mean, I'm going to buy HEX and ETH in the meantime, and I think by the time PulseChain comes out, I think I'll have more buying power with what the current prices will be by the time PulseChain comes out. So I'll buy a mix of HEX and ETH probably.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Yep.
All right, and while we're on you, Motley, UFC. I mean, the card tomorrow night,
Big card.
As we close out, is insane. So, as our resident UFC
Champ's going to keep it.
who?
There's three
There's
of them.
three of
so
them.
you got to be more
No,
specific.
but I was talking about the main event. The kid who's 18-1. He's going to keep it.
No, Usman.
Mm.
Yeah.
He's a machine. He's like scary. I love Jorge Masvidal. I'm like a huge fan, but I just don't think he's gonna do it.
I want Jorge to win, but I think Usman's gonna win.
That's what I think too.
Usman's a freak, right? Because
Yeah,
the way most guys that are like they have a muscle density and they're like that jacked, they don't have a gas tank because the more muscle, for you guys that don't know, the more muscle you have on, the more you usually don't have the cardio and the gas tank to go along with it. But Usman is he's a freak of nature. That guy has one of the best gas tanks in the business. The dude's so strong. His wrestling's amazing. And his stand-up continues to get better and better. He's got one hell of a jab. And the dude is a monster. Now, my favorite out of those two, definitely Masvidal. So I'll be rooting for Masvidal to win. He's a good betting odds if you want to vote on Masvidal. He's like a plus 350 right now. So
Actually, that's pretty nice. Yeah.
that's very good. So like
Very
if I wanted to put a little just fun bet, I would definitely put on Masvidal because the dude, he's got amazing hands. He's got much better hands than Usman does. If he can stay at range and continue to touch him for 5 rounds, very good chance of him potentially taking it. But Usman's very good at closing that distance with a good jab, taking him to the ground and just grinding out most of his opponents. So Usman's probably going to take it, but if I was to actually place a bet, I'd go Masvidal for the main event. Just because of the odds. And I'm a little biased. I want Masvidal to win. He's
I
badass.
so want him to win. I'm like a
Same.
big fan. But yeah. So, and the other 2 title matches are ladies fights, and we have Bullet Valentina. So you taking her, I assume?
Easy guarantee. She's like almost a plus or a minus 500 now, but I would bet the house on Shevchenko all day. One of the best, not only lady fighters, but probably one of the best fighters in the UFC overall. She's just an absolute monster. She's going up against Andrade, who she's a beast in her own right, but she's just honestly out of her league. And so is anyone else that goes up against Shevchenko. She's one of the best fighters of all time, female or male. So she's gonna have a tough night ahead of her for sure.
Yeah, and the last one I'm just showing on up here, we got Zhang versus
Wei Li.
Rose.
Yeah.
This was Zhang's fight versus Joanna, which was the absolute best
fight
fight
ever
of 2020, perhaps ever. These girls destroyed each other.
I felt
and
so
lasted,
bad for both of them.
And Joanna's forehead was like 3 inches out.
Frankenstein.
Oh yeah.
The biggest hematoma I've ever seen after a fight. It was disgusting.
It was
bad.
absolutely amazing and disgusting at the same time.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think tomorrow with Zhang and Rose is going to be the best fight of the night, in my opinion. Do you share that view, or who do you have?
It's going to be like this fight, right? It's going to be an absolute war. They're both very tough. Their striking's both very good. I think Rose is a little. As long as her mindset's straight, Rose is one of the best fighters. She's got probably a better arsenal than Wei Li does. But it's going to be a slugfest. It's going to be a battle of wills. They're both very strong women. It has the potential to be a fight of the year again. I think I give the slight edge to Rose. But,
really?
Yeah. Rose is much better on the ground if it goes there, which it could be since they both have very good striking. Rose has a much longer range, so she can keep Wei Li at distance. And then let's say they start getting into dirty boxing. If she takes to the ground, Rose has a much better ground game than Wei Li does. So I think overall Rose takes it, but man, Wei Li's got some crazy power. So if she connects right, it could be night for Rose as well. So it's gonna be a good fight for sure.
Benny Bills, there's some names on this card. Probably the last stand for Chris Weidman.
Yeah, Chris Weidman, I think he's like 3 losses in a row now, something crazy. So like when you get to that like 4th loss, UFC is looking to cut you. So it's
You're going to be Askrened.
Yeah, it's do or die at this point.
Yeah.
For
Anybody
Weidman,
into
for
Rough
sure.
and Rowdy? That starts in 23 minutes. Barstool's promotion. Anyway, it's right over the next state over in Morgantown, West Virginia, but is absolutely awful with real humans boxing each other. And you have like a dwarf fight and a ring girl contest. It is an absolute crap show and it is glorious. So I'll be watching that tonight.
Parlay from Faraway says he'll bet me 1,000 hex that Jorge takes it. No, what the heck? I want Jorge to win. I mean, you could hedge. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'll take that bet with you, Parlay.
Probably up that bet because it'll take more in gas than the Hexes.
Yeah, we should probably make it worth their while and do at least 10,000.
Yeah,
at least probably do.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you want to do a 10,000 hex bet parlay, I'll take that with you. We could talk offline. Just DM.
All right. Yeah, let's take that offline. CRYPTY Girl has stuck around and been a gracious guest talking all this UFC. So we'll wrap it up. This is the point where we'd like to shill yourself. So Vince, where can everybody find you before we go?
Well, yes, on Twitter and Telegram at CryptoVince369. And please check out the Hex Asians show that I co-host on Sunday and Monday mornings, 6 a.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern. Yep.
The show that you were still allowed to be on because you knew the square root of 49. So congratulations. Yes.
It was close, though. It was close.
Very close.
Big Kirk, where can we find you, brother?
At Big Kirk, at Bigkowski on Telegram, on Twitter. Until PulseChain comes out. So I've been running some numbers and working some things out. There will be no Bingo Earth until PulseChain comes out because I can't send people $50 in Hex for bingo winnings without spending $50 in gas right now.
Oh.
So very sure, I'm definitely planning on doing that again, but it'll be at a later time in a different form.
So if someone happened to have won a small little fantasy football stack, do they get Hex and Pulse from last season? Oh, okay. I'm just saying. Might have a little thing there. Yeah.
There's one. That's right. You do. Yes, that's right.
All right.
You got a good call there. So you do have you're that solves my question because
We'll talk about that after the show.
Yeah, this is after the show talk. Anyways, long story short, Big Kurkowski at Telegram on Twitter. Hey, I'll see you next week.
CRYPTY Girl, you are everywhere, so take your time and tell us all the places. I know we've had a lot of questions in chat already about your hat, so be sure to shill that and everywhere else that we can find you.
Well, yeah, thank you so much, first off, for having me on. It has been fun. It's good happy hours. CRYPTY Girl on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Reddit, and CryptyShop.com for premium Hex merchandise. Got my brand new hat, Flex Fit 3D Puff embroidery. Well, also behind me, sweet Hex pillow if you guys want that.
Nice.
And if you're going to the Vegas conference in June, I have some Hex Vegas merch on my website. So yeah, CryptyShop.com, and if you use the coupon code HEXVEGAS, you'll get $7 off the Vegas t-shirts I made for the conference. So
are you going, or is just your merch?
That is a great question. I totally wanted to go. I was like, oh, that sounds really fun. I think at the moment I probably should be saving my money still. And I was like, well, if at least I can't go, then I'll make some cool merchandise for all you guys who are going. But I want to be part of Hex conferences in the future for sure.
So everyone go buy a shit ton of CRYPTY's merch so she can afford to go to Vegas.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
And
Easy
she's
day.
saving for
It supports
PulseChain.
my channel. It supports Hex. It's all good. You get premium, comfortable apparel. So yeah, thanks for letting me share.
Oh, absolutely. It's a pleasure having you, and awesome to have some breaking news fun and chat about that. And Yeah, having you witness the joke off and some UFC chat, you're a trooper, so I appreciate it.
I did see one of your joke offs before when I was looking at your show, and there was one joke I haven't forgotten from like months ago that actually had me laughing pretty hard.
Did Vince tell it?
I don't remember who told it, but it's
What was the joke?
What do you call a sleepwalking nun? A Roman Catholic.
That was mine.
I was laughing. I was like, that's actually pretty funny.
It's pretty good.
Thank you. Motley, you're in a variety of places. Where can we find you?
Yeah, so you can find me on YouTube, Twitter, Telegram, Motley Investor. We have the Knights of the Crypto Table with Balliet Brand, Crypto Coffee, Dollar Cost Crypto, and Look Into Crypto every week. We were Tuesdays, 10 p.m. Eastern, but we just switched because I love you guys in the Quant Gang, but you guys go 5 or 6 hours. So we've we've now moved, instead of Tuesdays at 10 p.m. Eastern, we do Thursdays, 10 p.m. Eastern, and we rotate the show to everyone's channel. So next week we'll be Looking to Crypto. For you guys that don't know, that is Wasabi. He has some of the best charts in the game. Everyone likes his chart porn that he does.
Chart porn.
Chart guy, chart champion, whatever you want to call him. The guy
Keeper
is
of the golden chart.
Keeper of the golden chart that you guys will never see until the end of the year. So sorry, but yeah, so we'll be holding that show Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern, and then I'm probably going to be doing a new series on my channel with a couple of my guys that I've onboarded that are friends of mine. They've expressed interest in doing a stream once every 2 weeks, and we might bring a new on board and just talk about HEX, talk about how we can essentially do better advertising and just what's going on new in the space. So every 2 weeks we should have some good information to discuss, and by that point we'll have some new stuff to go over with PulseChain. So it'll be a good time.
And Crypty, you can put your link in the chat there if you want to.
Yeah, put your shop in there.
The chat is off limits for me to type in.
Oh, you need to have like a
put it
go on YouTube.
Put in the private chat, and then one of us can post it.
Yeah, Commander can put it in the.
Yeah, I was gonna say, or you could just go on YouTube and do it. I think
you're good, Whales only. I mean, just spreading out the HEX content. That's all.
Speaking of your show, I heard you got censored yesterday.
Yes, yeah. So
wait, what?
That was fun. So we were going for a while, and Dollar Cost Crypto, for you guys that don't know, he likes to show up fashionably late, and he did so last night, and he proceeded to start rattling off the name of the virus that we can't mention like 4 or 5 times. And then he may or may not have talked about a president doing certain actions to himself, and all within like 10 seconds. And I was just like, bro, you're going to get us removed. Like, what are you doing? Like, stop. And sure enough, I think maybe an hour or two later, they pulled it down. Poor Brad was like awkwardly standing there, just like,
because that was his like the host, right?
That's too bad.
Yeah, because Balliet Brand was hosting, so we have a chat that we talk on Twitter, so we'll make sure. Unfortunately, it sucks, right? Like YouTube likes to censor. It's kind of crazy to me that you can't even talk about a known virus. You can't even say the name, but it is what it is.
Wow.
So unfortunately, we don't have there's no real competitors for YouTube, right? They're more or less a monopoly when it comes to the streaming service. So now we got to play by their rules. And
people trying to pump Theta, but you know.
Yeah, it's just we're just not quite there. There's no one that really in the space that competes with YouTube, at least for eyeballs. So we got to play by their terms for now. So Brand edited the stream, and so he reposted. So that should be up for you guys that didn't catch it. You'll just miss out on the hysterical laughter and all of us laughing at the fact that Brad's channel is probably going to get banned now.
Balliet banned.
Balliet banned, as they like to call them.
Love it.
All right, panel guest, CRYPTY Girl, thank you so much for coming. Stopping
Thanks,
by.
Cabana. It was fun, guys.
It's so cool. We'll have to do that again. And keep up what you're doing with the multiple communities. Stick with it, because I think it just shows like a strength and a model for others for how to act, if you own multiple cryptos and you're involved in multiple communities. So you're doing a great job, and keep it up. So
I appreciate that. Thanks.
Absolutely. You rock.
Name your shop one last time before we dip off, since
it's in the chat somewhere. Yeah,
Did you send it?
I like to in the YouTube chat.
CryptyShop.com.
Easy day. CryptyShop.com. Go buy the
It's in
hat.
the chat.
I'm about to go buy it
Yeah.
myself.
I'll put it in the description as well. So
Yep.
Bye, guys. Have a
Bye.
good Friday.
We
Bye,
will
guys.
see you next week. See ya.